Good morning. I'm Dylan Gonzalez. The Cleveland Browns lost their preseason opener to Chicago Bears 34-10. Deshaun Watson started the game for the Browns and led them on their only 2 scoring drives of the game. Here's Watson on what it felt like to get back on the field.
Felt good, felt excited just to be back on the field. Go through pregame, get warmed up, take the field for the first time, and I don't even know how long it has been, but definitely a good moment for myself.
In the MLB yesterday, the Reds lost to the Marlins 7-1. They'll play a doubleheader at home against the Cardinals today. The Guardians also lost yesterday. They got shut out 5-0 to the Padres. They'll host the Giants tonight with first pitch at 6:40. This update is brought to you by Roosters. Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. Tickets, sideline passes, and trips to a Buckeye postseason game. Register today at roosterswings.com.
Breakfast time!
Hello, welcome to T-Bone and Tyvis. Can I take your order?
Just want a little breakfast.
Hey, you want some crabs? Because I got some of them.
Get ready to drive through the intersection of football, food, and fun. Come on, Joe! Featuring producer Dylan.
We're the 5 best rappers of all time.
Special guests.
You serious?
And you. Wake up.
For what?
It's time for T-Bone and Tyvis.
And a great Monday edition of T-Bone and Tyvis kicking things off. Week 1 of the NFL preseason in the books. Ohio State with their first scrimmage of fall camp. We got it all for you over the next 3 hours. Matt Fontana back in for T-Bone, Tyvis Powell, Dylan Gonzalez alongside as well. Don't forget, get that T-Bone and Tyvis podcast wherever you get your podcast, brought to you by Capital Ford of Columbus. Check us out on the YouTube side of things. Want to get a voicemail in? 614-460-8010. It was a beautiful weekend of football. I know it was just preseason. I don't care. I will take it. I love it. I watch it. I consume it. But other than that, Tyvis Powell, how was your weekend, man? Happy Monday.
My weekend was interesting because I slept hard. It was a different type of sleep. Usually on the weekends, I usually sleep in till about 6 o'clock. That to me is sleeping in given this shift that we have. Mm-hmm. But this past weekend, I was sleeping till 7:30, 8 o'clock. And I was a little bit nervous because I always try to be mindful of the fact that I don't want to sleep in way too late because Monday is going to be hard. If you sleep till 8 o'clock every day for the weekend, it's going to be hard when you get to Mondays. So today was the test. I wanted to see what I was going to do this morning. And my 4:45 alarm went off and I snoozed that thing so fast. It wasn't funny. And
I'm a dangerous snoozer of alarms.
But I ended up getting up at 5. I got 2 alarms set. I got one for 4:45, one at 5. Once the 5 o'clock one hit, that, you got to get up. But that's
the last one. There is no snooze.
But this is what messed me up, Matt, is that my son ended up waking up at some time in the middle of the night. I don't know exactly what time it was. Mm-hmm. And I woke up because I don't hear him because I sleep hard enough that I don't hear him. But this time I heard him and I woke up and, I'm looking, my wife gets up and she's taking care of it. And right before I go to sleep, she tells me, did you hear about Hayden Panettiere getting the
I just clicked on that.
And I'm like,
oh my, yeah.
I'm sitting I'm going back to see. So I thought it was a dream.
Yeah.
I thought it was a dream.
I just clicked on that this morning too.
She was like, for Remember the Titans. And I was like, yeah. And I went to sleep. And I woke up and I looked on Twitter and sure enough, there it is. And I was
36.
Man.
Yeah, I saw that this morning. That sucks.
Wow.
Yeah. So my weekend, you talk about some bad sleep. I was on a bachelor party. We left Thursday. We got back yesterday. It is my second youngest brother getting married next month. So we went up to Lake Chautauqua, New York, from Cleveland, about 2.5 hours, straight across. You go right through that little corner of PA. You're right into Western New York. So we fished, a couple of days, a lot of cornhole. Tyvis, I I think I twisted my ankle playing football.
Oh.
Or on the boat. I don't know. I woke up yesterday to drive home, and I'm like, why does my ankle hurt? And, like, there's 10 of us, and, like, we brought a football. We're playing football, not, like, tackle, throwing it around. But, like, combined with that, and I really think just standing on a boat, because you got to, like, center yourself and being on a boat all day. I got done. I'm like, that's it. I'm getting taken out by throwing a football around and boating.
Age.
Can't even do that anymore.
Age.
Let alone 3 days of beverages and staying up and, all that kind of stuff. I got home yesterday. I was like, I felt better than I thought I was going to, yesterday. And it wasn't anything crazy. Like, everybody on the trip was over the age of 30. Nobody was trying to really, get after it that way anymore. It's not like we were out at there literally was no club to go to. Like, we were on the boat at the house. That was it. But we got back. Everyone survived. There was no there were no incidents, and we didn't catch very many fish, though. That was the only downer of the whole thing. We didn't catch very many fish. It was a rough go, man. Like,
y'all lost it. Y'all lost y'all touch. Y'all got to catch the little fish, and then use the little fish as bait to get the big fish.
So we caught a lot of little ones, and I don't know if you know how well you're like fish species. Okay, so like in this lake, there's perch. Now there's the yellow perch.
Love me some perch,
dude. How good is perch, right?
Yeah.
But I get spoiled fishing Lake Erie because those perch are massive.
Mm-hmm.
In this lake, we're catching these little dinks, and I'm like, what are those? And they go, no, that's about as big as they get here. And I'm like, what? They were like 6 inches. They were the smallest perch. Now, did we keep them? Yes. Did we eat them on Friday night? Yes. But the other fish that's in that lake, there's multiple fish in that lake, but the other one is called a muskie. And a muskie, they call it the fish of 10,000 casts, because the gimmick is that it will take you 10,000 casts to catch one of these fish, because they're extremely hard to catch. They don't go after lures. They don't move all that much. Like, they are very hard. You could have fooled me. There was one in those lake. Not even a sniff, nobody, anything. And it was like a busy weekend because it was a really nice weekend and, one of the last weekends of the summer and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, I think I spent, I don't know, probably 7 hours of fishing on Friday and more like 6 on Saturday. I caught 2 fish.
That's a shame.
I didn't even keep either one of the fish
That's
that I caught.
Terrible.
I caught 2 fish.
It's not about the fishing, Tyvis. It's about the camaraderie.
It is. That's all it is. And my brothers are better fishermen than I am. I spent, combined 14 hours probably on that lake. I caught 2 fish.
Yeah.
And I will admit, I had a rod in my hand or on the water.
What was your bait?
Minnows, and then used a worm when I went to an Erie Deary, which is a different type of lure. And then, we were perching, so when you perch, you use minnow. When I was starting to cast a little bit, there are walleye in that lake, too. Again, could have fooled me. I didn't see one.
You using minnows?
We tried it all, man. Did it all. We had some leeches. We had it all. We had a great time. Maybe it was me. I don't know.
Matt, I got to tell you about a conversation I had on Friday with this jerk named Tyvis Powell.
What?
Yeah.
What did I do?
I was sitting one chair for Fan Sports Sunday on Friday. I said,
nice. Hey,
Tyvis, Fish, our boss, suggested that maybe we should call you on Sunday on the show to talk about the Browns, because this Tyvis guy is an analyst for the Browns radio network.
He help out on the weekend. I get
he says I'll be in church, and then
I was in church,
and then he says, "What time's your show?" And I said 11 to 2, but sometimes it gets cut short by the Reds. And then he says, "Yeah, I'll be out of church," and that's the end of the conversation. Doesn't say we can call him. He didn't want to be bothered.
If you would have called, I would have answered.
He didn't want to be bothered. So me and Tito ended up doing a great Fan Sports Sunday with no help
sans
to
Tyvis Powell.
Yes.
He literally, if I tell you I'm in church and then I say, what time? You say 11 to 2. Oh, I'll be out of church. What does that mean? What does that mean?
That means I'm available. I took it as I'll be out of church, but I still don't want to talk to you.
I've been, you know what? If you would have called me, you know what I would have been doing? I would have been in Target shopping for school supplies. That's what I did after church.
That would have been a great
I got
segment.
out of church at about 12:15-ish. And then I got to Target at about 12:35, 40. I didn't leave Target until about 2 o'clock.
Did you take the whole family of 5 to Target?
That's correct.
Why didn't we talk about that? I bet you that was an experiment.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Will it happen again?
I told y'all before that I truly despise Target.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of traps in there.
Let me rephrase that. I despise Target when I go with my wife. If I go by myself, I can go to any store. When I shop with my wife, I promise you, she takes at least, you're going to be in that store, I don't care where it is, for a minimum of 2 hours. And I cannot understand it. I don't get it. Give me the list. I promise you this list will be done in 10 minutes. I'm going to go right in there. I ain't looking at nothing else. I'm going straight to that section, hitting everything on the list, throw it in the cart, and I'm out of there. I don't know why it takes 2 hours to do something.
Now, Target, again, my wife, same thing. She loves Target, but we don't grocery shop at Target. We go to Whole Foods, we go to Aldi. Like, that's where our groceries come from. But again, for clothing, my kids' school supplies, like the same thing. Thank God for my wife, because if she didn't do it, nobody would do it, and my poor kids wouldn't have anything, right? Like, so at times I tell you this as a man in a similar situation. Drive up, pick up.
Bingo.
Do it.
Yes.
Do it. I swear to God. Like, my wife knows that. And again, I feel bad because I know she enjoys to go shop. Bro, I'll just tell you. She gets the app. Here's your hack. Just log into her account on your phone. And what you do is she places the order. You hit a button when you're on your way. You hit a button when you pull up. Put in, I'm in spot 5. They walk it out to you. It is one of the greatest things. You don't ever have to step foot in Target. Because I'm with you. I don't like Target. There's something about that store. I don't know what it is. Same thing. I can't even tell you the last time that I've gone past the return counter. I've been in a Target. I went to Target last week. I went to the return counter to return something, went back outside to get back into my car to go to the pull-up spot.
I use the mobile pickup.
I didn't even do it inside.
I use the mobile pickup when I take my kids, so I don't have to hear her say, can I also get this?
Yeah,
can I also get that? I let her pick
best.
out the one toy or whatever that she wants on my phone. We go to the parking spot. They put it in the car. There's no battle about getting more stuff.
Yep. God bless those workers. God bless Target for that, because it is one of the best things going. Well, I mentioned we got some preseason action in the books this weekend. Did anything change with that quarterback battle with the Cleveland Browns? We'll discuss it coming up. Just kicking things off. T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and happy Monday. Right now, if you're traveling on 70 East and making your way downtown, be careful. The right lane is currently blocked just beyond 40, also known as West Broad Street in that area, after a disabled vehicle. Also, no surprise here, slowdowns already starting to form over in New Albany, 161 and 62. Also, be careful if you're living in Delaware and even Marysville this morning. We do have some fog out in the area. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Science, adventure, resilience. Storm chaser Reed Timmer and his crew pursue the world's most powerful tornadoes, confronting danger, building community, and weighing the personal cost of a life driven by the relentless pursuit of storms. Witness breathtaking footage captured from inside nature's most violent weather. Some moments simply have to be experienced on the big screen. Never Stop Chasing, in theaters Friday. Get tickets at neverstopchasingfilm.com.
August is here. The heat is not going to quit, and neither can you. If you're over 40 and the heat is taking its toll more than it used to, it might be your testosterone levels declining with age. If you want the energy, vitality, and endurance confidence you used to have. Go to fixmylowt.com and book your free T-test today.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and football season is here. Time to score big at Germain Toyota of Columbus. Whether you're hauling the tailgate or heading to the big game, drive home in a tough new 2026 Toyota Tundra with 2.99% APR financing for up to 72 months, or call an audible and lease the 2026 Tacoma SR for just $349 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing and 10,000 miles per year. Make this your championship drive at Germain Toyota of Columbus, right off I-70 and Bryce Road. Visit GermainToyota.net today.
This is Gordon Miller from Miller Lending, the original home of the no-cost loan. With mortgage rates near their highest levels in almost 25 years, paying upwards of $15,000 to $20,000 at closing makes little sense, and Miller Lending wants to help. Now in our 40th year, our popular no closing cost program lets you simply close on today's rates, free of all mortgage-related costs, and refinance as rates fall. So why not pick up the phone for your no-cost quote today? 877-9-NO-COST. That's 877-9-NO-COST. Or simply apply online at nocostmortgage.com.
How do you make a UDF ice cream quake? Easy. Pick any flavor of UDF ice cream, add your favorite mix-ins, and you've got a quake. Now, how do you pick your flavors and mix-ins? That's the hard part. Ice cream quakes, only at United Dairy Farmers.
Save big on everything for your next staining project when you shop at Menards. Finish your outdoor wood projects with Cabot Premium Exterior Stain. It provides excellent protection and durability, making it ideal for decks, siding, outdoor furniture, and more. Get $8 off per gallon of Cabot Premium Exterior Stain now through August 23rd and start staining your project today. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Nothing feels better on a hot summer day than coming home to a nice air-conditioned house. If your AC is on the fritz, don't sweat it. Call the pros at the Waterworks Heating and Cooling. We service all makes and models and can provide great savings on a Lennox home comfort system that delivers that perfect feeling. The Waterworks Heating and Cooling Services. Call us at 614-232-2222 and schedule fast service today. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results.
Helping a new driver get ready for their road test? Here's a convenient new way to make the most of your 50 hours of required practice driving time. The Road Ready Ohio app, available now at no cost to new drivers and their families. Road Ready Ohio keeps track of your driving experience together, providing feedback and safe driving tips. It even generates the documentation you need for the Ohio BMV. The Road Ready Ohio app, free to download in the Apple and Google App Stores.
At Perkins Local Schools, we wanted to improve our literacy outcomes for our students. The union worked collaboratively with our administration to come up with a solution-driven process to help our students become better readers. We have been able to provide more resources for our teachers and empower our educators to use the best teaching practices to get the best outcomes for our students. My name is Pamela Schertz, and I am a proud member of the Perkins Education Association because strong unions make strong public schools for our students.
The Fan has a secret radio station. It's called The Fan 2. You can listen to the Bob and Tom Show, Jim Rome, and Buckeye stuff. Why do they pay me big money to whisper? The Fan 2 is on the Fan's HD2 channel and streaming on the Fan app. You're welcome. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see a spotty shower, maybe a rumble of thunder out there for the morning hours. That chance does continue into the afternoon as well. We'll see a mostly cloudy sky otherwise, humid with highs around 81. Tuesday, a much nicer day. Mostly sunny, somewhat less humid, highs again around 81. For the Fan, I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Justin Gertz.
If you've recently seen a photo of an older Baker Mayfield fresh off a bender, it's just Bo Bishop. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan. Two men who both know the value of a good hat.
You're bald!
This is Bone and Tyvis.
We got a little football this weekend. The score doesn't really matter, right? It's preseason. What was in the game? He's Tyvis Powell. I'm Matt Fontana for Tiva. The score doesn't matter because the Browns got smoked, right?
It's the way. Hold on. First of all, let's put some context on that. One, if you've been paying attention to any of this show, I told y'all that the 2s and 3s weren't good. I told you that. I've been saying it for literally 2 weeks. I said the 1s is real. After that, it's a little dicey. So that's why I said when you look at that tracker, whoever goes up against the twos that day is going to have the better day. I kept telling you that. So
yeah, remember that for next week when you're gonna place a little, you got it right there.
Hey, just saying. So when you go out there, when you watch this game, this Browns game, and you see at the 2s and 3s didn't look great. They had a 10-point lead. It was 10-0, and then 34 unanswered points. That's exactly what I was saying. I was like, hey, at least y'all know I shoot it to you straight.
You know what, Fontana? That's good betting advice. I'm gonna be some degenerate and bet fading the Browns second half in preseason's week 2 and 3.
That's a shame.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see what happens.
Then you can become an interpreter for a Major League Baseball player. You can do whatever you want. After that, the world is your oyster there, no, I mean, that's how it was going to go, right? Because, it was funny. I was telling everybody I was on this bachelor party with my brothers and my friends. So on Saturday, we were on the boat, and I was like, the Browns play. I recorded it, and I sat down and, actually watched it, yesterday to see what was going on. But we're watching it, and on the boat, everybody's like, hey, we're off to a good start. Like, hey, Casey Concepcion. And then in the second half, my brother looks at me, and he goes, we suck. And I was like, no. I was like, you can't. Again, that's not to disrespect those guys out there that are fighting for jobs or going for it. But, Tyvis, you're right, because the Bears, first off, they didn't play anybody, right? Like Caleb Williams did not play in that game. Tyson Bagent got the start. And for the Browns, I was – frankly, most interested in Deshaun Watson. And that's where it's hard because that's me selling Shedeur short. I've seen Shedeur play, but I'm not almost affording him the opportunity to show me that he's improved, and that's wrong on my part, right? Mm-hmm. Where in this game, it's literally been 2 years. 2 years in October since Deshaun Watson has played in any football game, let alone a preseason game. So that's where my interest was piqued, and especially because I think Todd Monken was telling you something here. He chose Deshaun Watson to be the starter for this game with all the other starters, right? The starting offensive line was out there. Jerry Jeudy was out there. They had I really, again, think all of the starters on offense that I could think of out there. And I'm not going to lie, Tyvis, I was happy with what I saw out of Deshaun Watson. And I know that's a complicated statement because of all the stuff that goes into it.
Let's just keep it to the field. Let's keep it to the field. Let's keep it to the field. So to me, when Deshaun went out there in those first few series, I was like, you know what? It looks good. I think he had a couple passes where a little bit of zip was on the ball, so the shoulder looked good. I thought he played in a timely manner, got the ball out in a good time. He was he would have been 9 for 9 if Harold Fannin didn't drop the ball. So he started off 8 for 9. I think that where it started to decline a little bit for me was his last 2 possessions before he ended up before halftime. His throws started to get a little off. He threw one to, I think it was Casey Concepcion. Threw it straight to his feet or something like that.
Yeah.
So I was
it looked like it had slipped or something.
Yeah, I was I didn't love it. I didn't love the way he finished his thing, but
sure,
it was a solid day for him for sure. I mean, he led 2 scoring drives. And then obviously when Shedeur went in there, Shedeur was more explosive. That's what he's been. He's been more explosive on the play. But I like the way he was playing because – I do post game, so I listen to the sound that comes out of the locker room, and they asked him what was his best rep, and he said my best rep, because they thought it would be either the one to Gage. I think he threw a 24-yard pass to Gage, or the one to Luke Florio for 30-something yards or something like that. He said no, my best rep actually came in the red zone where I checked it down to the running back. And he explained why, and it was funny because his explanation was something that I said he needed to work on. I said that when you look at Shedeur Sanders and the way that he plays, the thing about him is that he wants to make the big-time play. He trusts his guys. If it's a 50-50 ball, and say if it's 3rd and 6, and they ran Ohio, which is, the one runs a fade and 2 runs a 5 and out or 6 and out, right? He would not throw the 6 and out to throw the 50-50 ball to the fade. and not get the first down. But when he answered that, the check down was where I wanted to go to the running back because I was worried about trying to get the first down. It tells me he's grown and somebody has finally got to him like, all right, we know that you trust your guys and you want to make the big time play, but at some point you got to think about the chains. And to hear him say that it was good to hear that because it's like, all right, he's growing in that area. So I love the fact that he did that. Obviously, I didn't like the interception. He said said the ball was sandy, a little slippery. It slipped out his hand, ball a little sandy.
Well,
and
somebody was blaming the set. Was it Chase Daniels? Somebody said, "Look, it looked like the center. They got sweat or something on the ball."
Chase Daniels. If you watch it, if you go on YouTube or watch Chase Daniel on Twitter, he was saying like, yeah, it was valid because the ball was a little slippery and stuff like that, and the way he was holding, he flipped it a couple of times and all that stuff. But he said it was valid that his reasoning for throwing the interception was that the ball was slippery. And then Dylan Gabriel went out there and did the exact same thing. So.
Well, and then Watson had the one that it looked like he held onto the ball too long or like got stuck in his hand and came out all wonky and weird. So, and the evaluation of Shedeur in these games, I'm always, Tyvis, I started this thing thinking Deshaun Watson was going to be the starter, and there's been nothing that has frankly changed for me on this whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's almost like how I keep evaluating Shedeur is, to your exact point, I look at Deshaun and I say, you need to win the game. And he did. To be fair, to be credit for against the backups for the Bears, the minutes that he was in there, he looked good. He looked good enough to win the game. And then I almost look at Shedeur and I say, are you just getting better? You get what I'm saying? You know the difference of, like, I'm looking at Deshaun to say you need to play well and you need to help win this game. Shedeur, I'm just looking for the development. And to your point on maybe some of the smaller things, we're getting there. Now, is that enough to push Watson for the starting spot? I don't know. Is it enough to meaningfully win games on a Sunday? Again, I don't know. I probably would say no. So that's where I just think after – well, I'll ask you this, Tyvis, because obviously you kind of know where I stand. After that game on Saturday, do you feel like there is any movement towards a starter for the Cleveland Browns one way or the other?
No, I think that I came into this thing thinking, and just from all the things that I've been hearing, I've always thought that they're going to start the season off with Deshaun Watson. Mm-hmm. I've been saying that to myself for many months now. And I think that as this thing goes on, the more that it goes on, it just kind of, to me, depends on what you want. I believe that ultimately I would have let Shedeur start the entire season and then watch the growth and development go. But if they want to start with Deshaun for a few weeks, I understand that as well. It is not the end of the world to me. But I think by the end of this thing, you have to at least let Shedeur get a long period of time as a starting quarterback to finally either say he's going to be able to move past this season or know that you need to draft a quarterback or get one in free agency or trade or whatever you want to do. So to me, the majority of this season should go to Shedeur Sanders. But if you want to start the season off with Watson, then okay. But because the big thing has been, and the one thing that I was most impressed with is they kept saying, from everybody that I talked to at the Browns, they say, like, it's more procedural. It's pre-snap. They say when it comes to pre-snap stuff, Deshaun Watson is the best quarterback on the roster when it comes to the two. When you talk about post-snap, that's a totally different story. Post-snap, obviously Shedeur does a better job of utilizing the entire field. When you're going up against Shedeur, you have to defend the entire field as a defense. So that's more what you want out of your quarterback. So to watch this preseason game, to see Shedeur not have any pre-snap penalties and not any procedural stuff, I was like, okay, there it is. Bang, there's another. He's growing again, So I think that he's doing the right things. Yeah, I think Shedeur is doing all the right things to earn the trust of the coach to become the starter, which is why at some point I believe he will be the starter of the season.
Well, from one starting quarterback battle to maybe a different type of quarterback battle down in Columbus. We'll hear from Ryan Day. We'll hear about Senior Day. We'll get into some Buckeyes. We'll do it in just 2 minutes right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Flooding being reported by Buckeye Lake. We're talking far east side right now. That 70 eastbound ramp is completely closed as you're heading towards State Route 79. All lanes are blocked, and that's because when we're looking at traffic cams in the area, we have a nearby river that completely crested, so we have some major ponding on that ramp. Obviously, as I mentioned, still closed. That workaround is actually getting off nice and early from 70 eastbound. You'll take State Route 37 instead. Lancaster Road heads southbound, and from there, you'll continue on State Route 79. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Football season is here. Make sure your internet is ready. Kinetic's 100% fiber gives you the fast, reliable connection to enjoy live football on YouTube TV and watch up to 4 live games at once with Multiview. Check real-time stats and catch more big plays without missing a snap. Take your game watching to a whole new level. Switch to Kinetic. Save up to $120 on your first year of YouTube TV. Visit GoKinetic.com for details. Subject to availability and eligibility. Terms, conditions, and restrictions apply. Cancel anytime. Kinetic. Internet better.
CEC Turf and Tractor is growing. We're proud to welcome Green & Sons Equipment's Mount Sterling and Marysville locations. Same hometown service you trust, now with the strength of one of Ohio's largest Kubota dealers. Visit CECTurfandTractor.com today.
Steve Air with USA Insulation. Let's do some quick math together. Your energy bill this summer, probably one of the highest you've ever paid. Now imagine that same bill all winter long. That's what you're going to be looking at if you don't fix your insulation. You can still get the best deal of the year. We foam your walls, we insulate your attic for free. That ends August 31st. You don't want to miss it. The insulation pays for itself in energy savings. Call before August 31st for your free attic insulation. 529-2440 or usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
If you dread dealing with your insurance more than you dread build-it-yourself furniture, with extremely vague instructions.
What are these? Hieroglyphics?
Then you might have Insuranoia. You should have NJM Insurance. They go to great lengths to do what's best for their policyholders.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Capital Ford of Columbus. Find your dream ride and get approved fast at capitalfordofcolumbus.com. 3 men, 2 cars, 1 breakfast order.
Okay, so far this breakfast has been a disaster.
You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
I'm going to start this segment by saying that there is no quarterback controversy in Columbus. I'm not trying to just gain listeners on this thing, Tyvis. I'm not trying to go viral by saying that.
We'll take them. What you mean?
You will. You always will. Just get, tomorrow is Hot Take Tuesday. Is that not correct?
That is correct.
So, yes. All right, we'll get Hot Takey tomorrow on that, or you guys will. But I'm not saying that Julian Sain is not the starting quarterback for the Ohio State Buckeyes, but it sounds like maybe there's a little battle on for that backup spot. I'm Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone this morning. Our T-Bone and Tyvis. Tyvis Powell is here. Of course, Dylan as well. Find your podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We're streaming on YouTube. Get in the YouTube chat over there. I know Tyvis is always an active participant on the YouTube chat. I need to get better on that. Hang on.
Well, it's like so we don't take phone calls,
right?
Like that.
Chat's
so
great. I like
this is kind of like my way of taking phone calls.
There you go.
We do the voicemail, though, 614-460-8010.
Look at you.
Boom.
That's why you are one of the top producers here in this radio station.
Thanks. That's a ranking I'd love to get one day.
Ted is number 1, and Baker's 2. Those are my top 2. That it will never change.
Did you see my Bishop and Friends shirt that I have on? I'm a big fan of Bishop and Friends. What can I say?
I like their shirt. I got to wear our shirt. I keep forgetting to put it on.
I don't think I have any 90s. You know what the funny thing is? I've never actually been in the studio.
You got to come down sometime.
Columbus. I was just talking with Zwick about this. I shouldn't say just, but a couple of weeks ago. And I was like, I think this fall I'm going to somehow set up the Fontana tour. And I'm going to come down. I'm going to see all you guys. I will stop in and do a show. I want to go golf at the Scarlet Course. I want to go to, what's the Roosters. That's really the only thing I want to do is come down and go to Roosters. Everybody tells me how great it is. And
there's no Roosters in Cleveland?
No.
I was unaware.
Tyvis would know better than me.
No,
Not
Roosters
even close,
is a Columbus thing, and people will travel for that Roosters.
Yeah.
Tyvis, so get your money.
Did you know
buy a Roosters franchise, put it in Northeast Ohio?
Did you know there's no Waffle House in Cleveland?
I didn't know that either. What are they doing up there?
Not in like
Cleveland.
Probably not the city limits, yeah. The
Outskirts,
city limits.
maybe. But yeah, in Cleveland, yeah.
I feel like I heard didn't we talk about before is there like not White Castle up there either or something like that?
No, they're the only one. There's one outside, oh, God, I want to say Brooklyn maybe.
I remember you mapping out how long it would take you to get to a Waffle House, and it was not close.
Yeah, not close. There's not a lot of White Castles.
Man.
Yeah,
we're getting some
food
taste up there. Jeez.
Yeah, we're getting a few Tim Hortons here and there, but that was I never had Tim Hortons outside. I went to Columbus. I didn't know that was a thing until I went down to Columbus. But yeah, Roosters. This is what I said. I'm going to come down. I'm going to meet everybody. I'm actually going to step foot in the studios. I want to play golf on the Scarlet course or the Gray course. I don't care either one. I'm not.
Tyvis could get you in Muirfield.
Can you? Well, we don't need to discuss that right now. I don't need to put that on Tyvis.
What makes you think that I got
You're
that type of
Tyvis
pull?
pal.
You're Tyvis pal. I would
MVP of the national championship game.
You know what they're going to say? Who is that?
I didn't doubt that for a second. Dylan said that. I was like, okay. I'm like, I didn't doubt that for a second. I don't doubt that. I don't. And then Roosters would be the big thing. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'll come down and then, come to the pregame show on a Saturday for Ohio State or something like that. So that's my idea. I'll TBD on dates. We could do a big party at Roosters if anybody wants to show up for me having my first one there. So we'll get to it coming up. Well, for Ohio State, it is going to be Julian Sain. He is going to be the starting quarterback. Now, Ryan Day spoke about Luke Fahey, who is a freshman quarterback. He's on the depth chart, but a lot of people felt like maybe even fourth on the depth chart. Behind Julian Sain, behind Tavian St. Clair, and probably maybe even behind Justin Martin, the transfer. And he's there. But Ryan Day had some real positive things to say about the former four-star quarterback. Here's Ryan Day talking about Luke Fahey.
Luke, he got his black stripe off today. He's been really doing a great job. He's putting a lot of pressure on Tavian. He really is. He's been competing. He's been making plays. We'll see how he grades out. Coach Fessler grades everything. So that's been exciting to see him, come in with a certain work ethic, run the offense, at a pretty high level. So we'll kind of see how the rest of the camp plays out. But good to see him kind of step in and push Tavian.
Tyvis, I believe what Ryan Day is saying there, and this isn't meant in no way disrespect. That sounded like I want to give Luke Fahey some flowers here because he's working really hard. And again, I'm not in those closed practices. The scrimmage was closed to the media. Like, I understand all that. I mean, maybe he is pushing Tavian St. Clair. That sounded like a message that Ryan Day wanted to get across to somebody in some way. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I think he trying – listen, we talked about it before, and like I said, Tavian – has all the physical abilities. Correct. I think when it comes to Tavian, it's all above shoulders. I really do. I think that just seeing he wants him to see the game the way the coach wants him to see it, And I think Luke is not as physically gifted as Tavian, but he's doing all the little things right. He's paying attention to the little details. And that right there is like, okay, all right, Tavian, we want you to be the guy. You got all the intangibles and all the things to be a great quarterback here, but you got to figure that part out. And the young guy's coming in hungry, and he's like, hey, if that backup spot is up for grabs, I'm going to do all the little things right. Maybe because I know I'm not physically gifted enough, but I'm smart, right. And if I'm smart, that's kind of what you want out of the backup quarterback. I mean, think about it. From an NFL level or any backup quarterback, it's never been, hey, you in the game, go win the game. It's usually the guy that knows the playbook the best, that knows where to go. A coach want to be able to be like, you know what, I'm going to put him in the game, and I'm not worried about him making a mistake. I know that he at least can read the defense. He knows where to go with the football. Usually it ain't like they pushing the ball down the field a lot anyways. They just trying to get the ball into guys' hands on little slants and dinks and dunks like that. If he can do that at a good level, that's kind of what you want out of your backup quarterback. And if Luke Fahey's doing that and Tavian ain't, hey, it would be unfortunate because, like, again, I think Tavian, physically wise, is a gifted kid, and I think he could be a really great quarterback here, but obviously it's all above shoulders.
Is this a cause for concern, though, when it comes to Tavian, his development, his future at Ohio State? Because I feel like a couple months ago, if you said it was more likely that Tavian would be pushing Julian Sain or someone would be pushing Tavian for the backup job, you'd probably say the former. And now it's like, not only is Tavian nowhere near Julian saying he might be behind Luke Fahey.
I just, the vibe that I get on this, to Tyvis's point, like, when you look at Tavian St. Clair and Luke Fahey, they look completely different. Now, does that mean that they both can't play quarterback? No. Like, Luke Fahey has a very strong arm. He can throw the football where he needs to. Like, in the scouting report for him coming in, as some had him a 3-star, some had him a 4-star. But, like, one of the things, Tyvis, he said leadership. Exactly to your point. Above the shoulders, his leadership skills. He played lacrosse. He's a really, really tough kid. But he's 5'11", 6 foot, right? You know, Tavian's 6'4". He looks every part of it. To your point about this, Dylan, which I think that is a fantastic question, this vibe to me is we need to keep Tavian involved because for basically 2 years, it's been Julian's the starter, Tavian's the backup, and there's been no real push, debate, conversation to be had. When you get too much of that, you lose an edge. When you don't have somebody pushing you, you sometimes can lose that edge. And that's even harder for a guy like Tavian to go, yeah, well, I'm not projected to play anyway. You know what I mean? Like, it's even harder because you're not the starter. You're trying to keep the 2 job, but if everything goes right, yeah, you're not really going to play very much this year. And, again, I believe Ryan Day in what he's saying, that Luke Fahey is doing all the right things and making the right decisions and all that. This just very much, to me, continues to kind of talk about, or again, at least my vibe on this, Tyvis, is that this is trying to keep Tavian maybe in line a little bit. But I also think he wants to give Luke a little bit of credit for losing his black stripe and doing all the right things needed in practice.
This situation could turn into a Cardale JT situation. You know, Cardale was physically gifted, had all the intangibles, but JT beat him out because of above shoulder things when it comes to leadership and just knowing where to go with the football on most things and stuff like that. I think that's kind of what this situation is. It shouldn't be close, but because of the above shoulders aspect, it makes it close.
That can. Well, so you get a new on the job like Luke Fahey is in Columbus. We got new head coaches across the NFL. Bucky Brooks, can you believe this? 10 new head coaches in the NFL. Not new as it's their first job, like John Harbaugh is very experienced, but he's got a new gig. Of the 10, which one will win the most games in 2026? Bucky Brooks ranked them all the way 1 to 10. We'll run through that list coming up. It's T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Noticing 2 disabled vehicles out there if you're heading downtown, especially from the west side. A heads up here. The first one's going to be 70 eastbound, passing 40 West Broad Street. That left shoulder is closed. And then when you're passing that area, not too far away, we also have another disabled vehicle. This time around, it's 70, that eastbound ramp to 71 southbound over there. That right shoulder is closed up ahead. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, leading to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment, and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and we specialize in treating men's sexual health issues to help men find solutions that fit their individual needs. ED is a frustrating condition, and many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But the good news is that if you're like most men, we have the answer. Our licensed medical providers will evaluate your specific medical situation and recommend a plan designed for you. And these advanced medical therapies work, with treatments having success rates of well over 90%, which means you and the one you love can have great sex again without the fear and worry of ED. You can even last up to an hour or more, and you may just find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My sinks gurgle, they barely drain. The toilet overflowed. I plunge all day with no luck. What's wrong with this commode?
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free. Guaranteed.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
See that white buildup around your faucets? Spots on clean glasses? That's hard water, and what you see is only part of the problem. Fortunately, Culligan Water of Columbus can help. The Culligan High Efficiency Water Softener is the world's most efficient water softener, using less salt and water while tackling hard water throughout your home. With 4 locations across Central Ohio, Culligan is Columbus's water treatment expert. Start fixing your home's water today with a free water test. Visit CulliganWaterColumbus.com to schedule. Culligan, water you love.
Make every swipe work for you when you open a new Visa from Kemba Financial Credit Union. And for a limited time, get $300 cash back when you spend $3,000. Apply at Kemba.org. Offer ends 10/31/26. Restrictions apply. Variable rate product. Equal opportunity lender. Qualified spend limit to the first 90 days.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor and call a Groundworks company. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Schedule a free inspection with Ohio Basement Authority, a Groundworks company.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for detail. One bite in, you'll be saying, that's hot as fire. Speedway's new Hottest Fire Chicken Sandwich turns up the temp. Eat the heat for $4.99 only at Speedway. Valid through 8/25/26. Participating stores. Exclude Speedy Cafe. See app for full terms.
For Vivek Ramaswamy, Ohio is home. That's why Vivek will always work hard for our state and for Ohioans. The people who know him know why he fights, including small business owner and local barber Donnie Judd.
It's a passion for the people of Ohio Vivek has. Cut a guy's hair for as long as I cut Vivek's hair. You know a person. And I would trust him 120%. And he's for the working man. He doesn't care about special interests. The people of Ohio are disgusted with what's going on. They want new ideas. Electric bills are so high, people can't afford them. These are things that people talk about. Vivek wants to make things better, and he will fix it. I believe in that. He loves Ohio, and it's his home.
Fighting to lower costs and to put working class Ohioans first. Vivek Ramaswamy for governor.
Paid for by Vivek Ramaswamy and Rob McCauley for Ohio.
Rothman and Ice.
I'll find something to do. I've got some money. We just talked about winning the lottery. That's what this whole conversation is based on.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. One of these men was prom king. The other is Tyvis. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
So it is crazy to think about this NFL offseason where you had nearly a third of the league get a new head coach. And I would say one of those 10 will have the most wins. I guess it could be multiple if they tie. But of all of them, which ones are in the best spot to do so? It's T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan. Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone this morning. Dylan's here. Tyvis is here behind the podcast, wherever you get your podcast. Brought to you by Capital Ford of Columbus. You can leave a voicemail if you'd like, 614-460-8010. Dylan, I'm proud of myself and Tyvis. I figured out how to pop out the YouTube chat. So now nice. I have it up so I can say, did Tito owe you lunch yesterday or something, and then he didn't do it?
No, what it is that since Tyvis buys me breakfast every Wednesday, every time I'm on the air, people think that someone that's on the air with me needs to buy me food. I know Biddle bought Bojangles for the On the Money crew. Didn't save any for me or Tito. That's fine.
Just,
whatever.
That's just me. So, real quick side story, because I do want to get to this, and you guys in radio can relate to this very much, but I'm sure there's people in offices that this story is going to hit home. So, at a radio station, there is food that gets dropped off from time to time. When I started earlier in my career, 10 years ago, 10 plus now, been doing it, it was a lot more often. And in fact, the show that I was on used to do something called Free Food Friday.
I feel like COVID kind of slowed this down a lot, and we haven't really recovered in the food drop-off category.
In the suits.
You sound upset.
I am upset about it, Tyvis.
Not that serious.
I didn't have to pay for a meal ever.
Riz would just say, anybody that wants to bring food down on Friday, just bring it down. We'll give you free advertising. So the suits eventually...
Isn't that against the law?
Yes. So we used to do it. They put parameters on it in a way, but there was food at the station all the time, like steakhouse. You know, the first time I ever had filet mignon in my life was at a radio station. But anyway.
Dang.
So we used to get food dropped off all the time. And this happened over and over and over again. They would drop the food off. Where are we right now? We're working.
Correct.
The salespeople would just be like, oh, look at this, free food. Went back there one day. Bro, they vultured the whole thing.
Nah, I'd be flashing the chrome.
Dude, the producer that I worked with, Casey, is one of the most mild-mannered people I ever met in my life. When I tell you, I heard him screaming down the hallway. And then they sent an email out that said, don't eat the food until the content team has a chance to eat themselves. He lost it. So, like, you know that when, I don't know, whatever you do for a living. Say, hey, it's Friday. Somebody brought donuts. And you're like, great. And you come back and they're all gone. And you're like, is there no decorum here to be like, hey, make sure everybody gets a piece or everybody gets a sandwich or whatever?
See, if you work,
There's just none
if
of
you
that.
work in the mornings here, you don't have to worry about that because we get stuff dropped off for like
The
donuts
early
and
shift.
stuff.
Yeah.
And nobody's here yet until we get off. So there it
There's the beauty
is.
of it. There's the beauty of it. All right, Bucky Brooks ran through again. Tyvis, kind of crazy to think about 10 new head coaches in the NFL, and it is strictly this: who's going to win the most amount of games this season coming up? So I'm going to run through the list, and I'm going to start at 10 and get all the way to 1, and I want both you guys to tell me if there's somebody that you think is too high or too low. So, again, of the 10 new head coaches, Bucky Brooks feels like Jeff Hafley in Miami
Tyvis's
will
guy.
win the least amount of games. Former Ohio State coach Jeff Hafley. Then he's got Mike LaFleur with the Cardinals, Todd Monken with the Browns, Robert Saleh with the Titans, Clint Kubiak with the Raiders, Kevin Stefanski with the Falcons, Mike McCarthy with the Steelers, John Harbaugh with the Giants, Joe Brady with the Bills, and he thinks Jesse Minter with the Baltimore Ravens will win the most amount of games of the new head coaches. So now let's go 1 to 10 to make sure everybody gets it. Minter to win the most, Brady, Harbaugh, McCarthy, Stefanski, Kubiak, Saleh, Monken, LaFleur, Hafley. Tyvis, this is one of those guys do you think is in a better spot to win some more games, or is there somebody you think is too high on Bucky's list here?
Whew. I don't think Kevin wins that many games.
Okay. So, like, he's got him at 5.
I think
which would be, like, more than Saleh, more than Kubiak.
Kubiak plays in a tough division.
See, that's the thing with Stefanski, though, is that that division is ass.
Anybody, literally, I think
Yeah,
anybody
I guess
can
you
win
got
that
a point there.
I do. I think anybody can win
I don't
that
think the
division.
Giants win that many games.
Me neither.
That was mine.
I don't know
Harbaugh
where
at
that's
3.
at.
I don't know where that's coming from. This Jackson Dart propaganda, I guess I can't think of any other way to put it. This push on Jackson Dart, oh, he's this and that. I'm like, yeah, but also, again, very tough division for the Giants. And I didn't like that Harbaugh pick there. I don't really like Jesse Minter winning the most with Baltimore. I combo to saying this. Was Minter probably one of the highest sought-after coaches this offseason? Sure. I think Baltimore's got some real problems going on with their football team. And I get that you have Lamar, you have Derrick Henry. It should be just that easy. You have Kyle Hamilton on defense. I don't know if it's quite easy to just look at Baltimore and be like, yeah, Lamar's going to be able to keep doing all the things he's been doing.
I think that the part that they keep forgetting out is they keep forgetting about Baltimore is that they have an aging defense. You know, there's a lot of guys that's getting old over there. And I also think that what plays a part in this is the fact that Mike McDonald won the Super Bowl last year because it's a young defensive-minded coach. You know, he was with Jim Harbaugh, and then I think, wasn't it Jesse Minter that took over for him?
He went to both Harbaughs.
Yeah.
He's been with both Harbaughs. He was with John in Baltimore and with Jim at Michigan.
So I think that they seen the success that Mike McDonald had, and they think since Jesse Minter is in the same vein of all of that he's going to go over there and have that success as well. But the thing that they got to remember is the offensive coordinator. That part is going to be a big part of that, because obviously Todd Monken did a wonderful job. You know, Lamar obviously he was an MVP candidate before Todd Monken got there, but Todd Monken definitely took his game to a whole nother level, especially when you look at the one season where he only threw like 3 picks or something in the season. It was something crazy where he shouldn't have. Actually, a lot of them picks bounced off people's hands, so he shouldn't have threw any. But I think that plays a part in it. And obviously the AFC North with the Browns and Pittsburgh and all of that stuff, you know, to me, it's no guarantee that Baltimore is going to be great. Yeah. Let's just say that.
Declan Doyle is their offensive coordinator. Tyvis, he's 29 years old. This is his first time being a play-calling OC. He came off the Bears, the Ben Johnson tree, because everybody loves that. But that's a lot to put on a young man there. The one thing I did want to say about this list, because it's unequivocal, Mike LaFleur with Arizona and Jeff Hafley with the Dolphins will lose a lot of football games this year,
I'm sorry, but add the next guy from the bottom, which is Todd Monken, to that too. Like I wouldn't be surprised if any of those 3 guys end up being the ones with the most losses on this list. The top 2 guys on the list, I think, are right. Jesse Minter and Joe Brady. Those are the only 2 guys on the list Joe that Brady. Are also favored to win their divisions. I think Lamar Jackson comes back with a vengeance. He was 69th on the NFL Top 100.
They don't care about that.
Chip on his shoulder. I think he does.
Like they do, Dylan. I don't think they
He
do.
was hurt last year. I think people are sleeping on him. 2-time MVP. Most disrespected player in the NFL. I think he does something about it.
Did you see the thing about Devin Achane, that he's going to get like 40 carries a game?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he joked about that. Be like, get ready, man, because you're going to be tired after that. See how that goes.
There's no
we'll
way that little Devin Achane
No, that's not happening. He had to play in a preseason game. The hell's he doing? What was that? Cam on the YouTube chat says, I definitely think it's Harbaugh. Coach Beard said, yeah, Dart sucks. Talk about Jackson Dart. And Jack says it's Kevin Stefanski that is going to win the least amount of games. And he agrees.
We need to play better.
He's good. He already dropped one of those. It's been preseason game number 1 for the Falcons. And I already heard that from Kevin Stefanski. Coming up, from one former Browns head coach to another, Hugh Jackson said he did just fine with the Cleveland Browns. That comes your way next year on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Still closely watching some major flooding out by Buckeye Lake. That 70 eastbound ramp is still restricted as you're heading towards State Route 79, a nearby river cresting, and the water levels aren't expected to go down until later this evening. So definitely expect that entire ramp to be entirely closed for the remainder of the day. Take this detour instead. Getting off early is the key. 70 eastbound to State Route 37, and from there, it will get you towards State Route 79. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
CEC Turf and Tractor is growing. We're proud to welcome Green & Sons Equipment's Mount Sterling and Marysville locations. Same hometown service you trust, now with the strength of one of Ohio's largest Kubota dealers. Visit CECTurfandTractor.com today.
I've had a number of surgeries, and frankly, I don't have time to rehab a surgery and an operation at this point in my life. I didn't want to take time off my kids' activities.
That's why former college and pro football player Bobby Carpenter turned to QC Kinetics. We couldn't be happier saving our patients like him from operating rooms and long recoveries.
They will resume like normal activity for me, which is a lot of running. It's a lot of workouts. I've been very, very blessed with how it's been able to hold up.
For so long, patients have accepted surgery as the only solution. But with new technologies, the medical professionals at QC Kinetics use regenerative treatments, your body's own biologics, to help heal and restore knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
I actually ran into a friend of mine over at our golf course, and he had his knee done. It felt so well. He'd got his shoulder done. He goes, I can't thank you enough. He'd heard the commercial on the air, and so it's feeling great.
Find out how you can avoid surgery and finally get relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Welcome back to That Lux Life. It's your boy, Will Winmore. Today's guest, the Millionaire Ball from the new Ohio Lottery Daily Draw Game, Millionaire for Life. Hey-oh! So if a player matches 5 numbers and the millionaire ball number, they win $1 million a year for life.
Hey-o.
Or $100,000 a year for life if they match just 5.
Hey-o.
Millionaire for life is the game. Millionaire ball is his name. Play Ohio's newest daily draw game for your chance to win for life. Players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Dale's a loser. I play to win, like early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
When my wife and I got married, after both graduating law school, we didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. Ultima had to give me her gas card just to drive home. We never could have imagined that one day we would have the largest injury firm in the world and $25 billion in money collected and counting. As good Catholics, we had 4 children fast. They all work in the firm today. Our family, protecting yours. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, but our greatest gift was years away, grandchildren. Today we have 6 and counting. It's the greatest joy that we have ever experienced. I think about them all day long. Our family promises to protect your family should you need us. Call us. It's easy. Visit forthepeople.com and make sure you hug your grandchildren. God's final gift to us. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Football season is here. Make sure your internet is ready. Kinetic's 100% fiber gives you the fast, reliable connection to enjoy live football on YouTube TV and watch up to 4 live games at once with Multiview. Check real-time stats and catch more big plays without missing a snap. Take your game watching to a whole new level. Switch to Kinetic. Save up to $120 on your first year of YouTube TV. Visit GoKinetic.com for details. Subject to availability and eligibility. Terms, conditions, and restrictions apply. Cancel anytime. Kinetic. Internet better.
This is Gordon Miller for Miller Lending, your original home of the no-cost loan. When it comes time to buy or refinance your home, there's 3 basic rules you need to know. Rule number 1, never ask your lender if they need to call your employer to make sure you still work there. Quitting the week of closing was not cool, Bob. Number 2, never call from jail and say you're going to be running a little late for closing. Again, not cool, Bob. And finally, the one thing Bob did right, never ever pay closing costs. What banks won't tell you is that paying closing costs creates an 8-year break even, yet the average loan lasts only 4. It's similar to buying life insurance at age 108. The math simply doesn't math. At Miller Lending, we solved that problem 39 years ago. By waiving all the fees, we completely eliminated the break-even, so you will immediately realize savings. So why wait? Pick up the phone and call Miller Lending today, 877-9-NO-COST, or simply apply online at nocostmortgage.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender and MLS number 250-2146.
What would it take for my child to only miss half a day of school for treatment?
What would it take to fund a cure for childhood cancer?
It would take all of us to come together to support the research. Join us. Go to childrenscancer.org today.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Dylan Gonzalez. The Cleveland Browns lost their preseason opener to the Chicago Bears 34-10. Deshaun Watson started the game for the Browns and led the Browns on their only 2 scoring drives of the game. Here's Watson on what it felt like to get back on the field.
Felt good, felt excited just to be back on the field. Go through pregame, get warmed up, take the field for the first time, and I don't even know how long it has been, but definitely a good moment for myself.
In Major League Baseball yesterday, the Reds lost to the Marlins 7-1. They'll play a doubleheader at home against the Cardinals today. The Guardians also lost yesterday. They got shut out 5-0 versus the Padres. They'll host the Giants tonight with first pitch at 6:40. This update is sponsored by TurboTrack Realty. Done with that property? Call John Kozerica, TurboTrack Realty, for a cash offer today. 614-472-2000.
Tyvis is drinking a protein shake for breakfast. T-Bone is eating a protein donut. Minus the protein. And it's more than one donut. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
I saw this yesterday, And Dylan and Tyvis saw the same thing, and I was like, this has to be on the rundown. And I love doing this with you guys. I have a lot of fun doing it. I enjoy it. So every segment, I don't ever give away a segment, but this is one I'm like, man, do I not want to have this conversation? I don't want to talk about this, but we have to, and we will. It is T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan. I'm Matt Fontana in for T-Bone. Dylan Gonzalez here, and of course, Tyvis Powell. Find the podcast wherever you get it. Brought to you by Capital Ford of Columbus. As always, streaming on YouTube. I feel very proud of myself. I have the YouTube chat up now. There's salad conversation going on and Deshaun Watson. Got it all in the YouTube chat. And, of course, you can leave a voicemail, 614-460-8010. So Hugh Jackson is the former head coach of the Cleveland Browns. Very famously went 1-31 over 2 years, finished 36-1 in his time as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. Just marred by ineptitude, okay? And Sashi Brown was the GM. And obviously, you know, Tyvis, for you and I, probably a little closer to the situation than maybe a lot of people down in Columbus were, to see it go through it, to be there, to see it, all that.
Well, hold on. First of all, I was currently, when they went, the 1-15 season, I was in Seattle playing.
Correct.
But I watched from afar, and I was like, wow.
But you were
2017.
2017,
I was there for OTAs.
Yeah.
And I said, nah, they was predicting them to go OSN. I was like, nah, they didn't went out and got Jamie Collins, you know, G-Dubs, the DC. It was a great vibe defensively there. You know, it was some good back and forth battles. I was like, nah, there's no way. Got Myles Garrett in the first, nah. And I ended up getting cut because I was overweight, unfortunately. And what did I do my? You didn't know about that? I didn't tell you that. So this is what happened. A quick story. So this is what happened.
I did not know this.
So I get to Cleveland. I got cut by Seattle in the playoffs, and they ended up picking me up. So I knew that I was going to Cleveland.
Okay.
Real like December or something like that. But it couldn't be.
You had to wait for the season to be
right, because you had to wait for the new year and all that stuff for the transactions to go through and stuff like that. So I get there, OTAs, and as soon as I get there in February, March, they like, hey, you did your physical, we looked at your wrist, and your screw is sticking out, and it's tearing your cartilage, so we need to take that screw out. Okay, cool. So I go through surgery to get the screw taken out. This was around my birthday that year. And, you know, when you do that, you can't do anything. I couldn't lift or do anything for like 6 weeks. So that took me to right about the beginning of OTAs, like when you start coming in the building and start lifting and stuff like that. So for those 6 weeks, I couldn't work out or anything like that. Plus, I had the stitches and stuff. So I sat around and couldn't do nothing, and I ended up getting up to like 230 or something like that. My playing weight at that time was like 212. So I got up to 230, and they like, oh, no, you know, you got to lose some weight. So I was like, don't worry about it. My weight, at this time, my weight fluctuates. You know, I can lose 5 to 6 pounds a day. I'll be fine by the time, you know, season starts. And we get towards the end of, we get to OTAs, and I'm not moving as fast as I used to because of the 15 pounds or whatever it is. And then we ended up making the trade for Calvin Pryor. We ended up drafting Jabril Peppers. So the safety room got overcrowded. And because that I wasn't moving the way that I normally was, they was like, oh, yeah, you not getting it done. Boom, we're going to cut you. Make a long story short, I ended up going to the Colts and was at 212.
Yeah, you made it. Right.
Right.
You said you were going to do.
Yeah, I said it was going to happen, but whatever. So I ended up getting to 212. But yeah, that was what played a part.
And then Calvin Pryor never saw the regular season because he got into a fight with his own teammate. But that's another story for another day. All right, we're talking about Hugh Jackson. So he was on The Pivot, a podcast. And I want to, like, I'm going to be biased in this, and I have to admit this, right? Because all that Hugh Jackson has ever done since he left Cleveland has been try to repair his image and frankly put out false things. Like he was like suing the Browns over statements and judges found that he had no ground. Like he put this book out. It just own it. Just own it, man. Okay, I'm sorry that you got to go down in history as one of the only 2 teams to ever go 0-16 in the NFL, joining Lions. Like, you went 1-31. And he's on this Pivot podcast, and he's saying, well, people say I failed in Cleveland. No, I didn't fail. Are you kidding me? And he said, go back and look at the team. Go back and ask me who had the decisions and put that team on the field, right?
Do you want the audio?
I was going to say, I'm sorry, Dylan. I didn't know if we had the audio.
Yeah,
Please play it. So, again, I want to give credit. This is via the Pivot, right, the podcast. Here's Hugh Jackson talking about his time in Cleveland.
These are big shoulders. I've been through the war. I know what this is like. I failed at Cleveland, according to what people said.
No, according to what you said.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did say that because you know what? Sometimes you got to play the game, right? Okay. You know, I didn't fail at Cleveland. Are you kidding me? Go back and look at the team. Go back and look and ask me who had the decision and put them on the field.
Okay.
I have my own algorithm as a football coach. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I know what players it takes. How was I coaching them in Cincinnati, but yet all of a sudden in Cleveland, I don't know what it takes to win? Right. No, it don't work that way. Yeah, I didn't all of a sudden fall off the turnip truck and forget football in a freaking year. I know what it takes to win. You think that I was going to put quarterbacks on my team that we had on our team in the beginning?
Preach.
Yeah, come on now, let's wake up. Look, you know the media, Ryan, as well as anybody. They can, once you start that fire, it takes off and run. Yes. And that's the narrative that everybody can create when they want.
That, listen, I could win a Super Bowl if you gave me the best player at every single position. I could figure that out, Hugh. That's not your job. Your job was to coach the player. Did they suck, Tyvis? Yes. I knew that. You knew that. Everybody knew that when they looked at that team. And that's been the narrative that Hugh has been trying to push since he left here, was basically Sashi Brown was tanking the team and didn't tell me about it. Dude, how stupid do you have to be to not realize what was going on there? Now, they wanted plausible deniability, or you didn't want to be involved in that. Sure, fine, whatever. But that's where I just get so sick of this. Well, I know what it takes to win. Yeah, sure, man. Again, if you gave me Patrick Mahomes with Derrick Henry and Devontae Adams, and, go ahead, line it on up, and I could go win those football games with you. You give me the Rams, okay? I think I could probably win some games with them because that's how good. That's not what it's about. And the final thing is very clearly another shot at that failed A.J. McCarron trade, right? When he goes to the quarterbacks that are on the roster that he didn't get. For those that don't remember or don't know, very famously that the Browns in, I think it was 2017, they were going to trade for A.J. McCarron. He was the backup in Cincinnati. Everybody knew Hugh where he came from, Cincinnati. Oh, he loves A.J. McCarron. And, at the deadline, deadlines at 4 o'clock. The reports are that they tried to send out a fax at 3:58. And it didn't go through in time, and they didn't trade for A.J. McCarron. There's people that are like, who unplugged the fax machine? There's something weird happened because it was reported that it was done, that the Browns had traded for him, and the paperwork didn't get filed on time. They didn't get A.J. McCarron. So, again, it sounds like Hugh wanted that to happen. Do I blame Sashi Brown for this, Hugh? I'll tell you this. Here's my peace offering here, Hugh. Yeah, it was more Sashi's fault than your fault. But I got news for you. It was your fault, too. Hugh, it was.
At the end of the day, the roster wasn't great. I think the Browns had a good plan. They was, hey, we're going to stink for the next 2 years to get good players and then be able to do something from there. I mean, it landed in Myles Garrett, it landed in Baker Mayfield, Denzel Ward, Nick Chubb, and all of those things. And
real quick, Tyvis, you're right.
Back.
It was painful to go through, but it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It was the right thing to do at the time, kind of semi what the Browns are going through right now. I'm not asking them to go 0-16 or 0-17 this year coming up, but sometimes you got to have these soft resets, get your picks, and make the right picks.
I mean, ultimately, that's what it comes down to, is landing the right guy. And you're right, that's kind of where we are now, a little bit in limbo. They don't want it to be that, but it might end up being that.
We'll see. All right, some changes coming to Columbus as Ryan Day, moving senior day. It had been a long-standing tradition. Where this idea came from, and I think I have an interesting take on it. We'll get to it. T-Bone to Tyvis, right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and welcome to your Monday. Right now, we are seeing a disabled vehicle affecting that north side this morning. It's that right shoulder. It's currently closed on 270, that eastbound direction just beyond US 23 out there. Also, a heads up, slowdowns already forming this morning. 33 in that westbound direction over by Gender Road. It will take you about 5 minutes to head towards 270. But hey, some good news. 33 between 270 to 70 is only looking at about 3 minutes. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Science, adventure, resilience. Storm chaser Reed Timmer and his crew pursue the world's most powerful tornadoes, confronting danger, building community, and weighing the personal cost of a life driven by the relentless pursuit of storms. Witness breathtaking footage captured from inside nature's most violent weather. Some moments simply have to be experienced on the big screen. Never Stop Chasing, in theaters Friday. Get tickets at neverstopchasingfilm.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
The magic of Harry Potter is now at Tim's. Choose your Hogwarts house donut. Summon the refreshing flavor of sparkling Patronus, or seek out the delicious golden snitch Timbit. Try them all at Tim's.
At participating US restaurants while supplies last.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
It's time for the Summer Sunset Sale at Great Lakes Hyundai. Right now, lease a new 26 Tucson SE for $149 per month for 36 months. $149 a month. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Dublin or Columbus or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $49.95 down plus tax title first month's payment. 7,500 miles per year, ends 8/31.
If you dread dealing with your insurance company more than you dread build-it-yourself furniture that came in 47 different pieces.
Why do I have 6 extra screws?
With extremely vague instructions.
What are these? Hieroglyphics?
Then you might have Insuranoia. And if you have Insuranoia, then you should get NJM. They go to great lengths to do what's best for their policyholders. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
The summer heat can wear anybody out. Hey guys, it's D. Miller. If you've been feeling drained even with AC, it may not just be the heat. 1 in 4 men 35 to 50 has low testosterone and has low levels of energy, sex drive, motivation, mood, and more. Low T drains your energy and motivation, so you don't have the energy for the things you love and might not even recognize yourself anymore. So get the answers you need this summer for free. At Low T Center, you can book a free testosterone test and get a consultation from licensed providers who specialize in testosterone replacement therapy. Visit fixmylowt.com to schedule your free testosterone test today. Explore a range of peptides and even get a jump on that summer body with GLP-1s and medical weight loss protocols. Low T Center has been the #1 name in TRT since 2009 for a reason. Don't spend another day wondering why you don't feel like yourself. Visit fixmylowt.com to schedule your free testosterone test today. That's fixmylowt.com.
What defines Ohio? A place that dares to go first and never looks back. There's no slowing us down. At Jobs Ohio, our mission is clear. Strengthen job opportunities and empower Ohio's workforce. Another reason why Ohio is now ranked the #1 state for business by CNBC. This is what unstoppable feels like. We did it together, Ohio. Our time is now. See Ohio's momentum at jobsohio.com/Ohio's time.
Helping a new driver get ready for their road test? Here's a convenient new way to make the most of your 50 hours of required practice driving time. The Road Ready Ohio app, available now at no cost to new drivers and their families. Road Ready Ohio keeps track of your driving experience together, providing feedback and safe driving tips. It even generates the documentation you need for the Ohio BMV. The Road Ready Ohio app, free to download in the Apple and Google App Stores.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like Chew This Gum and It Grows New Teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see a spotty shower, maybe a rumble of thunder out there for the morning hours. That chance does continue into the afternoon as well. We'll see a mostly cloudy sky otherwise, humid with highs around 81. Tuesday, a much nicer day, mostly sunny, somewhat less humid, highs again around 81. For the Fan, I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Justin Gertz.
Bo Bishop is a media legend. We have no idea where the other guys came from. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan. All of the hair on their heads is slowly migrating to the lower part of their faces. And tracking. This is T-Bone and Tyvis.
I don't know why it made me think, like I told earlier in the story, I was on a bachelor party all weekend, so you're out in a lake, and like the amount of hair that some people have on their back. I don't have that. You know, I'm a grown man, but I don't have that. And I'm like, wow. But yes, migrating to other places, maybe. I don't know. He's Tyvis Powell. I'm Matt Fontana. Dylan Gonzalez alongside I would say some pretty big news for the Ohio State Buckeyes as far as their scheduling goes, as it comes out that they are going to be moving Senior Day. So one of the many things that I love about college athletics, Tyvis, is you have Senior Day, you have homecoming. There's just things you don't get anywhere else outside of specifically here, college football, even though I know most sports do a Senior Day, at some point of things. So as Ryan Day's running through his availability, he talks about the idea, and Ohio State is going to do this. They're going to be moving Senior Day. Here's Ryan Day.
Well, we need them to have a major impact. We're counting on that. And there's been a lot of good. I think I'm interested to see what it looked like today when we were, some of these sustained drives, because when we watch the teamwork where you get 4 plays.
I feel like that was not labeled right. This might be it.
Yeah, it first came to me from our administration as an idea, and we talked about it, had long conversations about it. The traditions at Ohio State here are significant and very, very strong, and something that we all respect. And what we don't want to do is, do anything that's going to disrupt any of those traditions. But when we look at all the things that go on that weekend, the way things have changed, there's some things that we thought about. And I think the first thing was we want to keep that game, much of that game, the focus on the game. And the more distractions we have, there's already enough distractions during that week. And so this was just one more thing that we felt like we could move. Then when we started to look at just, the way that college football is now, recognizing seniors, someone like Brandon Ennis is maybe a little different than Earl Little. And so we thought about maybe moving it up a week, and then we said, well, why don't we just recognize all the seniors at the beginning of the year, let them know how much we appreciate everything they've done, and then kind of move on with the season, and sort of a different way to look at it. And so what we did is we brought it to the seniors to see what their take on it was, because we didn't want to do it without their support. And I wasn't sure what to expect. They all were nodding quickly and said, yeah, I think that's a great idea. So we went with it, and we think it's going to allow us opportunity to really, kind of recognize them early in the season and then focus on the games.
So I don't disagree. That was Ryan Day about the decision that Ohio State is going to be moving their Senior Day off the last game of the year, which sometimes is Michigan, all the way up to the first game of the year against Ball State. I say this with all due respect, Tyvis, that's Ryan Day talking out of both sides of his mouth. Hey, this is really important, but we need to get it out of the way. We want to do this, and we want to respect, but we just need to get this out of the way so we can move on with the season. I actually don't like this. And here's the thing. I like getting it off of Michigan, okay? That is the most important game of the year. Like Ryan Day said, I 100% am on board with that thought process. Why don't you just make it versus Northwestern then? That's November 14th. Homecoming is October 10th against Maryland. You need 2 home games to do these 2 things. Maryland, or, 2 home games to do 2 things. Homecoming and Senior Day. Make it 2 home games that just aren't Michigan. That's it. That's all. That's what I think should solve this problem. Because the other thing is how I view Senior Day. Like Ryan Day said, it's about the work that you have put in. You haven't put any work in yet. You're at Ball State for week 1. Like, maybe I'm reading too much into this, and I do agree with him. With the transfer portal and players that have been there for 4 years, and the beauty about Senior Day is there are some players, and I know that Ohio State fans know who they are because Ohio State fans know the entire roster, but there are guys that don't play very much, right? But have been there for 4 years. They still showed up for every practice. They still fought through every injury, and they don't get a lot of playing time on Saturdays. Those are the guys that also deserve and need to be recognized. And again, this isn't a shot at, like you said, like Earl Little or, somebody that just transferred in. Like, do I want to let those guys walk for senior day? Sure, you can. But there's also, again, guys that have been here busting ass for 4 years trying to help us win games,
I don't love it at all. I think that, he's come in and he's changed a lot of traditions on that last week. I mean, think about it. Back when I was banging, you had senior tackle, you had Script Ohio with the band, that Sunday before the game, and you had senior day. You had 3 things on that week, and all 3 of those things have now since been moved off of that week. I would say this. As old school as I am when it comes to these things, obviously that's what worked for us, and that was what it was, and that's just what it always had been, right? I do recognize the fact that there is a new day and age. Kids are different. Transfer portal makes things different and all of those things. However, I will say when it comes to senior day, the reason that I'm not a huge fan of it, and I get the whole, Earl Little is not the same as Brandon Ennis because, Earl Little's been here for 1 year. Earl Little's cheers probably be a little bit different if he's balling for 11 games than it will be for the first game where nobody even knows who he is. So, that the emotions of it all probably will be different if you do it at the end of the year versus the first time. So
that's my thing,
I
too.
think it takes the emotions out of it. It takes the significance out of it. It takes the fans' applause out of it. So I don't love it for those reasons. And then the biggest thing is this. What if I am a junior and I say, this is my last year? This happened. I seen Bradley Roby do this, and I seen other guys do this, where this is my last year. I'm declaring for the draft after this season. At least that's my plan. Things go bad. I get hurt. Things don't go the way I wanted them to. And I need to stay for another year. Do I do senior days since I did it at the first? Do I do it again the next year as well? Like, those are things, questions that I have about this whole thing. But like I say, at the end of the day, it's about winning the national championship. Ryan Day knows his team better than everybody. If distractions is what's been holding them back all these years and, maybe just guys just can't handle it, and this is what he has to do, is completely take everything off the game to be able to allow these guys to go out and win the game. And on top of that, they fly there now. They don't drive the bus, so they end up flying last year. If that's all, if he completely has to take everything away to win the game, and that's what it takes, go ahead. And then all Ohio State fans will totally understand. They might not love it, but at the end of the day, it better have results, because if you do all of these changes and you lose the game, then that's where the problem comes in.
Yeah, and inherently it's going to come back to some of the lack of success that Ryan Day has had against Michigan, and I think that's been remedied. I think it's back leaning towards Ohio State. Is it more about maybe what's going on up there in Ann Arbor? Sure, we're not here to have that discussion right now. But you're right, if you're going to do all these things under the guise of not taking away from the game, then yes, you better go out there and win that game. And especially when it seemed like it was such an important part of that weekend. But it's the different vibe that I get here too, Tyvis, is it could have been, hey, we don't want to take away from the game, but also senior day is very important on its own right, and we feel like sometimes even the game can take away from senior day, if you get what I'm saying. Hey, we're going to move this off to give it its own respect over here. And, I threw out the Northwestern game. Is that really a marquee game for Ohio State this year? Probably not. But, you might have a game where it's going to be, you're home against Oregon the week before. Make it that. That's a big game. That might be a night game. Do that.
Too many distractions. So
same thing. You can do run from every game. That's we can't do it here. It's too much. It just seems like this is not an important thing to Ohio State anymore, and that makes me sad. I don't like that.
It's unfortunate. That's the day and age we live in. But there's a ton of distractions out there in the world. I feel like you're starting to lose the tradition part, and all it is slowly but surely becoming the NFL, where traditions ain't even a thing anymore. It doesn't even matter. So if that's the model and that's where we're going to, then hey, that's what it is.
In today's NCAA, and I'm not blaming this on Ryan Day or Ohio State. This isn't a specific comment about Ohio State. I think it's a specific comment about the NCAA, maybe in the world that we live in. Yeah, tradition's great. Can we turn a profit? Are we winning? Are we making money off of this? Because that's what the NCAA has turned into at this point. Are we making money off of this? And I'm not saying that this decision was driven by that. I do really believe that I 100% believe that this decision was driven by focusing in on that game, the best rivalry in all of sports. I'm on board with that. I just think they could have moved it to something better. I think moving it to game 1 against Ball State is disrespectful. I do. I think that's bad.
I would have definitely just moved it to Northwestern.
Just moved to more Northwestern.
Yeah, I mean,
it's 2 weeks earlier. Your game before Michigan. You're on the road at Nebraska. Your last home game this season before you play Michigan is against Northwestern. Is there an outside chance that's a night game? Well, we'll see, because the week before is Oregon. And if that is a home game, or if that's a night game, then I doubt. Make the Northwestern game on November 14th a noon kick, and there's your senior day.
Maybe they looking at it as it's Ball State, so actually, all seniors don't play against the team up north or Northwestern.
I'll listen to that.
So now we can put them in a game where everybody's family can come down to that game and they actually see their kid play.
And a lot of seniors might play in that Northwestern game too, but that's another conversation for
well, you never know.
day.
Chip Kelly's the new OC.
I saw him in his helmet. I saw him in his high vis. We're gonna get to work, and I'm surprised he didn't carry his sledgehammer out and tell everybody about how they're gonna work hard there in Evanston to get things turned around for the Wildcats. But we'll see how that goes. We'll talk a little bit more NFL. Browns preseason game number 1. Let's hear from Todd Monken, Deshaun Watson, and Shedeur Sanders. It's coming your way next, right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Crews carefully monitoring a flooded road out by Buckeye Lake. It's that 70 eastbound ramp as you're heading towards State Route 79. It is closed after a nearby river crested, and it's not expected to go down the water levels until later tonight. So a heads up here, take this detour. Just get out nice and early. So 70 eastbound, you'll get off at State Route 37 instead. That's Lancaster Road. Head southbound, and from there you can head more in that eastbound direction to continue on State Route 79. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Trust isn't built in a day. It's built over years of showing up, doing the right thing, and standing behind every promise. For 34 years, that's exactly what Newman Roofing has done for families across Central Ohio. We know inviting a contractor to your home is a big decision. That's why we believe every homeowner deserves honest, transparent communication and a team that's there to educate you, not pressure you. The goal is simple: deliver a white glove customer experience that leaves you just as confident in the process as you are in the finished product. That commitment has earned Newman Roofing the honor of being voted City Scene Magazine's Best Roofing Company 5 years in a row. This award represents something more important than just recognition. It represents the trust of our neighbors. So, if you're considering a new roof, siding, or gutters, choose the local company that's spent more than 3 decades putting families first. Newman Roofing. Call 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
No one plans to get into an accident, but when it happens, we strive in making life easier for you. This is Justin Hinderer. The Hinderer Motor Company Collision Center is ICAR certified and certified by many manufacturers to provide the best quality repair available. All of our repairs come with a lifetime warranty. We have our own 24/7 towing service, so you never have to wait. Plus, we offer on-site rental cars for every lifestyle. At Hinderer Motor Company, we love what moves you.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Capital Ford of Columbus. Find your dream ride and get approved fast at capitalfordofcolumbus.com.
It's a tailgate party.
Welcome back to your morning tailgate.
I'm sorry, what?
This is T-Bone and Tyvis.
This is a loony bin, a nut house.
We'll be tailgating before you know it. I knew people are getting ready to tailgate for preseason NFL games. You got to get in You got to get in season form for tailgating.
You need to stop that.
I didn't do it.
I didn't, but I know preseason games.
Dude, they'll be in Muni lot for Browns coming up next week against the Bills.
Have you seen how people have been acting at the Bills games just because they have a new stadium?
I heard the grass isn't good. Did you guys see that?
It's a whole party up in upstate New York for Bills preseason games.
They jumping through the tables.
Oh yeah, they put a table in the stadium. There's a table, like a big table in the stadium.
They the Dudley boys. Devon, get the table.
Devon, get the table. I loved it. I loved it. When they came back, I'm not a big wrestling fan anymore. I was when I was a kid. And there was a clip. This had to, I don't even know how many years ago, but they came back out of nowhere. And as soon as you heard the whistle and then like the flares hit, oh my God, one of the best returns. And again, I haven't watched wrestling in years, but
that was probably like 10 years ago.
Do you remember that, Dylan?
It was a Raw after WrestleMania, and I was watching it live. I felt like a 10-year-old all over again when they came out.
Did they 3D somebody?
They
came back as heels, so they came back, acted like they were going to put someone through a table, and then said, "Nah, F you guys," and left.
The coolest part
listen, that might be one of the most legendary tag teams of all time. That table thing, that three.
Well, the best part of that clip was, Dylan, do you remember when Bubba Ray comes out and he looks at everybody and he does the thing where he pushes him and he goes, "Devon!" And then they had the crowd. He goes, 1, 2, 3, and the whole crowd goes, "Get the tables!" It was awesome.
They used to do the thing where they would have the guy on the ground have his legs wide open, and they go, "What's
Yeah. He did it. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, good times.
The Dudley boys, man. Oh God, that was hate. Again, I haven't watched I only see clips. I've not watched a live wrestling event in probably 20 years, but I saw that clip because that's, again, the nostalgia that's going to get you on some of those guys. So, yes, they do have the new stadium with Highmark. Apparently the grass isn't good. Players were leaking that out. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But tailgating be damned. We'll be back with that.
Is the NFL leaking that out? Oh, this natural grass, it ain't all that.
Oh, that's good. You know what? I didn't think about that.
Here we go.
I didn't think about that. Because it was an anonymous player that said, but then they were like, "Oh, the grass just hasn't taken yet," or it's not. I'm like, taken? I go, you got a game there. You got a regular season game there in 3 weeks. You better get some fertilizer down on that son of a gun. Like, the whole grass thing in the NFL. Because if they do mandate it, what are the Browns going to do? Their new facility is an indoor stadium that's 90 feet below the street surface. Like 3/4 of the Browns' new stadium is underground. You can't grow grass down there.
They got to figure it out.
They might have to. Just roll in sod every Sunday for a game. I'm sure that won't be expensive. But the Browns did have their first preseason game. It's T-Bone and Tyvis right here on the Fan. Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone this morning. Get your voicemails in, too. Don't forget, 614-460-8010. So the Browns have their first preseason game. And again, Tyvis, who knew, second half, not going to go the Browns' way. And it didn't. They got smoked. But for the starters that were in there, Deshaun Watson finished 11 for 15, 126 yards. He was sacked once for a 98.2 rating. Shedeur Sanders was 6 out of 11, 79 yards, did throw an interception. He had a quarterback rating of 39. So as they go through the quarterback competition, this battle has been on. What are you seeing? What are you liking? Tyvis, you mentioned this earlier. There was something that you really liked from Shedeur Sanders on a particular play. He decided to go for the check down. Here's Shedeur Sanders after the game talking about what he thought was his best play.
Check down to the running back in the red zone. That was the best throw to me. Because, I expect they go cover zero. I expect to get the ball out of my hand and do that. I expect on a quick game to get it out my hand and do it, especially in zone coverage and everything. But the best thing for me is more understanding down and distance, and we've been doing that, emphasizing that every day in practice. So
that was Shedeur Sanders. And Tyvis, you love that because it'd be easy to say, hey, this really big flashy throw or this dime that I threw. No, his favorite play was kind of maybe sounds like taking some coaching, doing some learning a little bit, and making the right play.
Yeah, it tells me that he's reading the field now. It's a lot of the time some people, when you're a young quarterback, you kind of predetermine where you're going to go. You anticipate that they're going to be in this. This is my boy. I've been working with him. I got the best chemistry with him. I'm going to throw it to him no matter what. To be able to get a snap, read the defense, go through your progressions, 1, 2, okay, they're not open, boom, let me throw this check down. Understanding the situation is 3rd and 4, and I only need 4 yards. So instead of me trying to force something in there, I'm going to throw it to this running back who I believe can get those 4 yards. Like That's really good. That's something that we didn't see out of him last year. We seen him, try to force a 50-50 ball to one of his guys or something like that. A lot of the times, one of the plays that come up to mind is obviously the Baltimore Ravens game where he tried to hit Gage, where he actually threw a great pass to Gage. It was a 50-50 ball, and the corner just made a really good play. In that same play, if you go back and watch, Jerry Jeudy's wide open for a 6-yard out that would have got the first down and kept the chains moving. Like now in hindsight, I feel like if he goes back in the time, boom, maybe he goes to Jerry Jeudy and keep the chains moving. That's the way he's talking now. So I see the growth in him when he says things like that. And like I said, that's kind of what you want out of your young guy. You want the guy to keep developing and keep growing and getting better and better.
The other part of this, obviously, is Deshaun Watson. Last year of his fully guaranteed contract. That's been talked about enough. And can he be the team? Can he be the quarterback to lead this team to some wins this season? So the question was asked after the game, Deshaun, do you still think of yourself as a franchise quarterback?
I mean, that's always been my mentality. So I don't think that's anything that I doubt into myself. That's the reason why I work hard these last 2 years, to get back to that. Had some challenges with some injuries and suspension, and now being able to get a full off season and continue to work my way back up. It takes time, but at the same time, I don't doubt myself in any way that I can't play at a high level.
I get that, Tyvis, but there had to have been at some point some doubt. I know I had it. Like, everybody had to have had it. So I get that he's kind of exuding some confidence in this thing. But everything that he mentioned that he's gone through, some self-inflicted, some just the injury thing, it's been too long. And not even just him playing at a high level. That doubt had to have creeped in at some point of, can I keep doing this and can I still be a starting quarterback in the NFL?
Anytime somebody gets hurt, that doubt always creeps in. I mean, heck, Nick Chubb when he said he messed his leg up in Pittsburgh, he said that the first thought was, am I ever going to ever get back to what I once was? So it's natural to feel that way. But I think with Deshaun, and I told people this months ago. I told them before OTAs even started. I said, you're going to get the most motivated Deshaun Watson that you'll ever see. Why? Because after this, there's no guarantee he plays in the NFL again. If Deshaun Watson loses this starting job and he does not play this season, it's hard to think that somebody else is just going to pick him up and take him and continue to give him another opportunity. I think he might get one, but I don't think it's guaranteed. And I think for him, he understands how important this season is to prove that he can still play at a high level. That's why it was good to see him be able to run around a little bit, scramble, to see, okay, the Achilles look good. He was able to get tackled and get up. Okay, the shoulder looks fine. He still got a little zip there. So to me, for him, the franchise quarterback thing, I don't know about that part. That part might be dead and gone, But
starter, sure.
A guy that can be serviceable, that can still maybe come in and win some games, like that's kind of where he's proven that I still belong to be in this league even after this season. That's what this whole thing is about for him.
Well, the guy making the decision, Todd Monken, did he learn anything from Game 1? Head coach of the Cleveland Browns, he close to calling this thing.
I'm not ready to say it yet. I mean, the plan was always to get through the Bills game, switch up who was going to start, who was going to play in the second half, and then we'll go from there. Every day's important. Monday's going to be important, right? Being in the meeting rooms are going to be important. Listening to the players talk about what they saw, right? That's part of it too. What they saw, how they feel. We'll go back to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, have a great practice against Buffalo. Then we'll walk through on Friday, and then we'll go compete our rear ends off against the Bills and see where we're at. And then we'll reevaluate then. We'll certainly watch it tomorrow and have an idea of how we thought our guys played. I mean, that's a part of it. That is a part of it. We're always in the evaluation process, and we're going to do the same thing as a coaching staff. I mean, there's certainly things we're going to look back at and say, how do we coach that better? How do we scheme it better moving forward? Who do we want to be moving forward?
It's a lot of word salad from Todd Monken. Just be like, no, we're not ready. Move on.
He also said this.
I like being stroked.
Yes.
y'all is not going to let a day go by that don't get played.
Can you, Dylan, play the first part of his, not the stroke comment, the first, like, as soon as he was asked the question, just like the first 5 seconds of Todd Monken asked about the quarterback competition thing again.
I'm not ready to say it yet. I mean, the plan was always...
Right there. Doesn't that sound like, I know, I just don't want to tell you yet?
Yeah.
That's what that sounded like to me.
To me, it's been the signs have all been pointing to Deshaun being the starter for a very, very long time.
Yes. Why we're waiting, I don't know.
I don't either.
Dude, I've lost my mind over this because I freaked out on my show up here in Cleveland because I said, the longer this goes on, the more you're hurting the team. And people go, you got to make the right decision, Matt. And I go, yeah, I understand that, but also I need Denzel Boston to get reps with the starter. I need Spencer Fano to know where the starting quarterback's going to be standing in the pocket. And let's call it for what it is. Whichever one you name the starter, they need those reps too, man. Like, they're going to need as much. I think, and I get that you want to try to make this as equal as possible, this charade, this facade, that they're like, oh, we're making this as equal as possible. Bull crap. You're not. And that's just obvious because you had to name somebody the starter first. You named Deshaun. I don't want to hurt Shedor's feelings, and I wish Shedor was going to be the future quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. I don't know if he's going to be, but this whole thing has gone way too far. Just name it for who it is, and we can move on. Speaking of moving on, coming up, we'll get to some overachievers of the week. It's T-Bone and Tyvis here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Expect some lane closures if you're traveling downtown, especially from that west side. It's that 70 eastbound ramp affected to 71 southbound. We are seeing a disabled vehicle for our area in that spot. Also, a heads up, slowdowns getting a whole lot worse, I gotta say, in our southeast corner by Canal Winchester. It is 33, that westbound direction between Gender Road and 270. That's looking at right now a 6-minute commute. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Hi, I'm Patty, founder of Awesome Tex. I started with a big idea to give old clothes a new life by turning them into recycled fibers and threads. Everyone told me that this was going to be impossible, but Chase for Business believed in me. They gave me a lot of guidance from the beginning.
Get financial guidance from bankers in the Columbus community and convenient digital tools all in one place. Learn more at chaseforbusiness.com. Make more of what's yours. Real customers compensated. JP Morgan Chase Bank, NA member FDIC.
Truck drivers, get more of what you're looking for from Schneider. Schneider delivers more for drivers with more new equipment, more driving options to choose from, and more support from our 24/7 maintenance team. Find a job that fits your lifestyle at Schneider. Choose from solo or team driving jobs with many home time choices, including local, regional, tanker, and dedicated options. Become a Schneider driver and get more from your career. Search driving jobs today at schneiderjobs.com. That's schneiderjobs.com.
The magic of Harry Potter is now at Tim's. Choose your Hogwarts house donut, summon the refreshing flavor of sparkling Patronus, or seek out the delicious golden snitch Timbit. Try them all at Tim's.
At participating U.S. restaurants while supplies last.
Don't sweat it. Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your air conditioner fast. 1-800-COOLING.
Football season is here. Make sure your internet is ready. Kinetic's 100% fiber gives you the fast, reliable connection to enjoy live football on YouTube TV and watch up to 4 live games at once with Multiview. Check real-time stats and catch more big plays without missing a snap. Take your game watching to a whole new level. Switch to Kinetic. Save up to $120 on your first year of YouTube TV. Visit GoKinetic.com for details. Subject to availability and eligibility. Terms, conditions, and restrictions apply. Cancel anytime. Kinetic. Internet better.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Dale's a loser. I play to win. Like early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later.
Sound familiar, Dale?
Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
I'm Ben. As a licensed Kroger pharmacist, I'm committed to helping you choose the right vaccines for you and your family. Whether you have questions about the flu, RSV, or COVID vaccines, our team is ready to go above and beyond for you when it comes to providing personalized care and seasonal vaccine education. No appointment needed. At Kroger, we're here to look out for you. Restrictions and exclusions may apply. See site or pharmacy for details.
Everybody's body can hurt at some point in time, and the older you get, it's just going to become the reality of what you've got to deal with. But you don't. Most people look to surgery That's going to save you. A joint replacement, that's going to heal you. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. And listen, I have had plenty of surgeries. I've had hardware put in my body. I don't want to do it anymore. So whether you think you have a torn meniscus, some bone-on-bone arthritis, go see my friends at QC Kinetics, and Dr. Tesner and his team will evaluate you. They'll explain the regenerative treatments that can deliver relief to patients like me or you. If you're in the Columbus area, this whole idea of regenerative medicine is going to do a great job at helping you hold off surgery. And in some cases, you may never need it. So don't accept surgery as your only choice. Call QC Kinetics today or go visit them online at qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544 and check them out today.
Buckeye Replay this summer takes you back to some of the greatest comebacks in Ohio State football history.
A JT Barrett comeback special. It's Ohio State and Penn State from 2017.
Hear Buckeye Replay this Saturday at 4 p.m. on The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by KDHVAC, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan. Tyvis says that in all his years being in football locker rooms, he never once looked at another man's junk. He cannot say the same thing about working at this radio station. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone this morning. Tyvis here, Dylan here. Get your podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We're also streaming on YouTube. T-Bone and Tyvis podcast brought to you by Capital Ford of Columbus. You can leave a voicemail, 614-460-8010. Dylan said there is a voicemail he's going to go off on, Tyvis. He's very, and then he said, he goes, I'm going to go off on this. And he goes, Matt, you're probably going to yell at me because you're not going to like the take that I have off of it. So that's very exciting to get there. Why are they talking about mowing your grass? Are you talking about mowing your grass in the YouTube chat, Dylan?
No, I think on the traffic cam for the radio listeners during the commercial break, you can see like the city skyline and all this stuff. Yeah. And I think you can see in that
somebody's
cam,
mowing their lawn.
someone's mowing like the lawns downtown. And
like, it's wet as hell out there.
Yeah, that's what
that.
Cam Young in the chat said. He said it's wet as hell. And I was like, well, where I live in my condo association, they're coming to mow the grass every other Monday, rain or shine, because they got other clients that they got to mow their grass on other days. So yeah, like rain or shine, they're cutting the grass on the day they need to cut the grass because they ain't got time today to go somewhere else.
We're out. You got to go. Tear up the yard, so be it. That's how it goes. It's time to get to it. Some overachievers of the week.
And now, it's time to highlight someone who's better than us in every single way. Meet our overachiever of the week.
Sponsored by Columbus Worthington Air, your trusted experts in air conditioning and heating 7 days a week.
All right, I got to start with some overachievers of the week. I'm going to throw out Joshua Baez, the Cardinals player, first 3 at-bats in his Major League Baseball career, and he hits 3 home runs. He's the first player in history to ever do that. First 3 at-bats, 3 home runs, so got to give him a shout-out. Golf fan Scotty Scheffler just utterly destroyed and torched 60 of the best players in the world yesterday. He won by 8 shots at the St. Jude Championship yesterday. It's the playoffs. They cut players down. They're down to 50 now. It's all. I love the playoffs in the PGA Tour because, guys, you can watch. Like Jordan Spieth's a great example, right? And for those that don't know, you have to play the regular season in the tour, in the tour, right? Then you have to make the top 70 that become the top 50 that become the top 30 to go to the Tour Championship. So, like, Jordan Spieth started in, like, the 60s, I think. He was, like, co-leading after the first day. But yesterday, he's, like, standing on the tee box. Guys, you watch his position change as he hits shots. And he put one in the water. He put one in the trees or something. He's under the cut line. I think it's great drama. I like watching it, so I'm going to give Scotty Scheffler a little overachiever of the week. And then this is, I don't think you guys allow this on the show, but I'm a guest, so I'm going to do as I please. I am an overachiever of the week.
Oh, man, that's a show first.
I did everything for my brother's bachelor party this past weekend. I scheduled the boat. I picked the food up. I got the house booked. I put everything down. Everything was to the T's. and we didn't have a problem over 3 days, other than not catching any fish, which I can't do anything about that. The weather was beautiful. Everything went off without a hitch. I give myself an overachiever of the week. If you need your bachelor party scheduled, go ahead and get the DMs. I am available for work and can do that for you. Tyvis.
I was not expecting that one. I thought we were supposed to highlight somebody that was better than us, not us.
That was my best version of myself.
Anyway, I got two. Three maybe. My first overachiever of the week goes to Michael Coach Jr., plays DB for the Browns. Dude was an undrafted guy out of West Virginia, was absolutely balling, had a nice PBU, and then followed that up with a nice interception. I was like, you know what? The DBs look a little bad out there, but he didn't. He actually was one of the bright spots for those 2s and 3s. Hopefully his injury isn't that bad and we're able to see him soon. Obviously, this is a big week coming up. My other overachiever of the week is going to be Ty Simpson, guy from the LA Rams, who went 21 for 25, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns. Man, listen, a guy who got picked early in the draft and everybody kind of scratched their heads. And I was like, if he went to Rams, they see something there. Obviously, they knew they was trading for Myles Garrett. They knew they would be able to get a quarterback next year in the draft. So they went and got Ty Simpson, and so far, so good. And lastly, I got to give one to my coworker, Cameron Irwin, because she actually was on the radio call for the Rams doing play-by-play. So shout out to Cam, because I didn't even know she had that in her bag.
You're a co-host on a Big Ten Tailgate.
Big Ten Tailgate.
Yes.
Love it. Love to hear it. Dylan.
Yeah, I have 3 as well. One of them is one you mentioned, Matt. Joshua Baez, 3 home runs in your first 3 at-bats. That's just ridiculous. And then I have former Buckeye Caden Curry, who got drafted in the 6th round by the Colts. He had 6 total tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for a loss, 3 quarterback hits, and 2 pass deflections in his preseason debut for the Colts against the Patriots. Yeah, he was filling it up. And then last but not least, a guy who hasn't played football for 2 years, someone who I think should be an early favorite for NFL Comeback Player of the Year, and that's Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson. 11 of 15 for 126 yards. After not playing for 2 years, put your 4s up, Tyvis. Quarterback battle's over in Cleveland.
I think it's over. I think it's over. I don't know if I take as much joy in it as you, but I think it's over. I think it's over. I mean, at the end of the day, I always thought it was going to be Watson. Does Shedeur have more hope of being like that long-term answer? Sure. Is it maybe not very much because you question if he can actually do it? I'll listen to all that. Guys, the Browns, I could say this. I know it's going to be a fact. You know it's going to be a fact. You know how this is going to go. They are drafting a quarterback with their first pick. There's nothing that can happen this season to change that. Not a single damn thing.
They win 7 or 8 games. Yeah, that would change it. That'll change it.
No.
They won't.
Watson could win the Super Bowl, and he wouldn't be coming back to the Cleveland.
Oh, no. I didn't say that. I was saying they was going to be out of position to be able to get one of those guys.
No, I agree with you on that. I actually do think the Browns are in that 5, 6, 7 win range easily, 100%. And that'll push them back. Well, they got the extra pick for the Colts. They'll package another pick. It happens every year. There's going to be a team in the top 5 that doesn't need a quarterback. It happens almost every single year. I don't know who it's going to be. I've got some ideas down there. I don't want to take a shot at Dylan's guy. Oh, actually, I would be taking a shot at his guy down there in Tampa. There's going to be a team that, well, maybe they will need a quarterback because they're going to get rid of him, too.
They're getting rid of him.
They're getting rid of him, too. There's going to be a change. Like, there's going to be a team up there that shouldn't be, and the Browns can just hopefully sneak their way up and get a quarterback. Coming up here, Ryan Day, an injury. Could that be stopping him from naming all the starters in the offensive line? We'll get to all the details. We'll talk about it next. Team on Tyvis right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Expect some lane closures if you're traveling downtown, especially from that west side. It's that 7 to eastbound ramp affected to 71 southbound. We are seeing a disabled vehicle for our area in that spot. Also, a heads up slowdowns getting a whole lot worse, I gotta say, in our southeast corner by Canal Winchester. It is 33 that westbound direction between Gender Road and 270. That's looking at right now a 6-minute commute. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
The magic of Harry Potter is now at Tim's. Choose your Hogwarts house donut, summon the refreshing flavor of sparkling Patronus, or seek out the delicious golden snitch Timbit. Try them all at Tim's.
At participating U.S. restaurants while supplies last.
At Wright Pat Credit Union, we are owned by our members, not shareholders. So our only bottom line is you.
What's the catch?
There isn't one. I mean, I guess you have to be a member.
Uh-huh. And what's that cost?
Oh, there's no monthly cost.
Oh, but there's a bunch of eligibility restrictions, right?
No. If you live here, you can bank here.
No catch. What is this?
It's banking done right. Wright Pat Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
One bite in, you'll be saying, that's hot as fire. Speedway's new Hottest Fire Chicken Sandwich turns up the temp. Eat the heat for $4.99 only at Speedway. Valid through 8/25/26. Participating stores. Exclude Speedy Cafe. See app for full terms.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
With Bet365 early payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Sounds like you heard about our special sale right now, where qualifying installs are 40% off.
Yep, it's why we're now offering 2 windows for the price of 1.
Wait, what was that?
That was the disclaimer. I can make up all kinds of things as long as there's a disclaimer at the end.
I'm not sure that's right, Wilson.
Sure it is. Listen, I can bench press 100 pounds. No, I can't. That's a lie.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
At BMI Federal Credit Union, we believe it's never too early to build smart financial habits. Open a savings account for the youth in your life with just $5, and we will put $100 into a youth certificate. Visit bmifcu.org/youth.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
It's time for the Summer Sunset Sale at Great Lakes Hyundai. Right now, lease a new 26 Tucson SE for $149 per month for 36 months. $149 a month. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Dublin or Columbus or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $49.95 down plus tax title first month's payment. 7,500 miles per year ends 8/31.
How do you make a UDF ice cream quake? Easy. Pick any flavor of UDF ice cream, add your favorite mix-ins, and you've got a quake. Now, how do you pick your flavors and mix-ins? That's the hard part. Ice cream quakes, only at United Dairy Farmers.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
This summer, there are 250 reasons to join T-Mobile.
Girls trip? Booked. And switching to T-Mobile helped make it happen.
With Experience Beyond, switch and get $100 back. Plus, $650 in value in built-in plan benefits. That's $750 in your first year, guaranteed.
And honestly, that $100 back, I'm putting it towards the zip line.
Now that's how you do summer.
Exactly. Best switch I ever made.
This is just one reason to join T-Mobile this summer. There are 250 reasons. Find yours.
Savings based on the value of benefits included with Experience Beyond, like entertainment and 1 year of AAA Classic and Dash Pass on us. Benefits may require activation. See plan for details. Get $100 via virtual prepaid MasterCard with eligible ported, no cash access, and expires in 6 months. Issued by Sunrise Banks and a member FDIC. Allow 8 weeks.
Is 2026 the year you achieve your health goals? The Good Feet store wants to help. Trade in your bad feet for good feet. We want to help you walk, run, exercise, and play in comfort this year. Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road in Grove City.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Dylan Gonzalez. The Cleveland Browns lost their preseason opener to the Chicago Bears 34-10. Deshaun Watson started the game for Cleveland and led the Browns on their only 2 scoring drives of the game. Here's Watson on what it felt like to get back on the field.
Felt good, felt excited just to be back on the field, go through pregame, get warmed up, take the field for the first time, and I don't even know how long it has been, but definitely a good moment for myself.
On the diamond, the Reds lost the Marlins 7-1 yesterday. They'll play a doubleheader at home against the Cardinals today. The Guardians also lost yesterday. They got shut out 5-0 versus the Padres. They'll host the Giants tonight with first pitch at 6:40. This update is sponsored by Hydrate Me Med Spa. Look great, feel great. Personalized wellness and aesthetic treatments that work from the inside out. HydrateMeMedSpa.com.
Both of these men played sports in high school. Only one of them was good at it. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
You know, I understand that when coaches speak and they say something that either the media, the fans, we can take a little statement and grab onto and say, well, you said this. It's got to be true. It's got to be a fact. So when Ryan Day, I think, kind of just passively said, we want to name the offensive line within 9 or 10 practices. He said that before, and they hit their 9th practice, and everybody goes, well, where's the offensive line at? And he doesn't have a decision. You got to understand there's been some changes with that, and we still don't have the starting 5 for the Buckeyes up front. It's T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan. He's Tyvis Powell, Dylan Gonzalez. I'm Matt Fontana in for T-Bone. Don't forget, get those voicemails in, 614-460-8010 for all your voicemails. Get the T-Bone and Tyvis podcast brought to you by Capital Ford of Columbus. So we hit the 9 practice, I think, which was Saturday. And everybody, okay, where's the offensive line? Well, unfortunately, Austin Sehfereld, he's been down for a couple of practices now with an undisclosed injury. Good news is they expect to get him back early this week in practice, and they can kind of get after this, Tyvis, which I get is an important thing because there's only 2 positions you know for a fact. Carson Hinsman's your center, Luke Montgomery's your left guard. That's it. And shout out to 11 Warriors because they had a great write-up where it's basically like, if you put Ian Moore at left tackle, then Sehfereld goes to right guard, Phillip Daniels potentially your right tackle. You keep Sehfereld at left tackle, you could put Josh Padilla at right guard, and then either Daniels or Ian Moore at your right tackle spot. So I'm kind of curious on your take on this, Tyvis, where I sit there and I go, if you know Sehfeld's going to start for you, because that's a fact, he's going to.
Yes.
Can't they just then not evaluate Ian Moore, Padilla, and Daniels and say, it's really kind of up to these guys? Like, if you feel really good about Ian Moore, then you know Austin Sehfeld's your right guard. Like, if he starts, I guess you want to see where Sehfeld feels, more comfortable going from tackle to guard. Like, I think you could make the decision even without Austin being out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then also you want to see. First of all, you need to do what's best for Austin. Is he going to play tackle in the NFL? I don't know. I don't think he's 6'7" or anything like that, right? No. So they're probably trying to do more guard play. And then you think about this. The one thing that we talked about needs to improve this year is the run game. And that comes from that guard spot, that right guard spot, being able to run on both sides. So to me, if you want to put him there to be able to run the ball, now you got Carson Hinsman, him, and who am I missing? Montgomery.
Yeah, for the
right. Like that right there is 3 solid, really good people on your interior of your offensive line. You should be able to run the ball very effectively in that spot. So I think that right there would also play a part into it. It's just about is Ian Moore doing his thing at the tackle spot? Does he look good enough to be? Are you confident enough? Because we talking about left tackle here. Like, that's probably the most important spot on the offensive line. So I understand why it's taking so long, because it's if Ian Moore isn't dominating that left tackle, well, then we know Austin can. So we gotta look out for Julian in this situation. So I think that's, to me, is why it is what it is.
See, like that. See, I get what you're saying, Tyvis, and I'm not trying to downplay because you have Texas in game 2, but we saw this with Ohio State and Tyvis Shabola. Like, they're not afraid to make a move if they feel like it's going to help the team. So I get that you want to make your decision on your 5 and love to say this is in stone and these guys aren't getting moved out. Do what you need to do, and if you need to make a change throughout the season, do it. And that's where having strong backups, which I think Ohio State does, push these guys and make the best decision. I just, again, not being in the practices, not really knowing much, I'm just going to go off of how I feel and what I see. Ian Moore needs to be your starting left tackle. Like, that just has to be it. So then with that being said, I think you're moving Austin Saravel to right guard, and I like Phillip Daniels at right tackle. And I was screaming for Josh Padilla to get more time last year. I think your best line for Ohio State is Ian Moore, Luke Montgomery, Carson Hinsman, Sarafeld, and Phillip Daniels. I think that's your starters that you go with. That's what I think is going to give you the best lineup to start, and you can figure it out from there. That's the one I'm.
The difference between this year and last year is that they don't open up against Texas.
Correct.
So you're going to be able to. You could at least, you could make a starting line, and then obviously. Maybe a couple possessions in that Ball State game, switch it, see what it looks like. See if you get some open. Now, I know Ball State isn't the best measuring stick, but
still gonna get a look.
You get a look to see what it looks like, and then that way when you get to Texas, maybe, all right, you got a better idea. We had him in here and we was able to do X, Y, and Z. So let's go with that,
Well, one of the guys going to be benefited from that offensive line is going to be Bo Jackson. This was another storyline throughout Ohio State camp of maybe he wasn't running with the ones, Isaiah West passing him up. But let's hear from Ryan Day talking about Bo Jackson.
Well, I think the first thing is, his reads and the way he's hitting the hole has really shown up. But I think he's doing a much better job at the second level. And we've talked about it before. You're running over him or you're running around and making a miss. And you're seeing that. It's showing up on film. It did not show up on film last year. We all know it. He knows he's been challenged. Coach Locke has been challenged. And so, based on the habits he's creating, I think we're going to see that this year. Now, again, it's just practice, so it doesn't matter until he puts it in the game. But if he continues to keep building and practicing and stacking these practices the way he's doing it, it's going to show up in the game. And that's going to be a big part of who we are this year. We felt like, there was a lot of good there last year, but there was also a lot of football that we left on the field. And so a big point of emphasis that so far he's been responding to.
That's Ryan Day talking about Bo Jackson. It sounded like maybe they want to get a message across. Maybe there's something that they just wanted to emphasize. I don't know. But I think he's back to being the one, and there really was no worry, at least on my part, Tyvis. I was pretty sure it was going to be Bo as your number one running back, and it sounds like that's how it's going to go.
I think that they got 4 running backs that we're going to see a lot of this year. I think that we make a big deal out of who's starting a little bit too much, especially when it comes to the running back room. I mean, heck, Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins was there. You can't tell me who was the starter because it didn't matter. They both got in the game, and they both were very effective when they got in the game. I think the same thing is going to happen with Bo Jackson, Isaiah West, Jacoby Jackson, and Legend Bay. I think all 4 of those guys have their own thing that they're really good at, and when they get into the game, we want them to dominate what they're good at. And I think that he hit it on the head, especially and Bo Jackson's biggest issue was the same thing with Isaiah West. I think both of them had the exact same issue where they both got to the second level and didn't do a great job of making the guy miss to be able to take it all away. Obviously, Isaiah West is a little more fit now, so he's got the ability to drop the shoulder. Bo Jackson, I thought, was a speedster, and I thought he should be able to run past guys, and that just wasn't happening. So if both of those guys is doing that at a high clip, then we're going to see some long runs this season because that offensive line did a really good job last year. Even with the right guard, with Tegra Shabola and all those things, it was still good enough to see those guys crease it and be able to rip off some long runs. They just didn't take it all the way. And I think that we'll see Jacoby in for them short yardage, those tough physical yards that you need to get those short yardage situations. And Legend Bay will work his way in and have packages of plays where he's explosive and catching the ball out the backfield and being a mismatch for on linebackers and things like that. So I think we'll see all four of them in a game.
I agree, and people rightly so talk about Chris Henry and obviously JJ and the receivers and Julian Sandrow. That run game, that is powerful enough to carry this team. Like, even if somehow you took away the receivers and the quarterback, Ohio State is so balanced because they know that they can run that football. And I do think a lot of that has to do with the offensive line, with the scheme under Ryan Day, now with Arthur Smith. But that's what I'm saying too, Tyvis. Like, I could see all those guys getting meaningful carries, and they all do it a little bit differently, and you love to see that. And that's where you want the honor of saying, yeah, I'm the starter or I'm getting all the carries here, but there's nothing wrong with mixing all these guys in as long as they can continue to be effective with it. At the end of the day, when we start to get playoff time, sure, is it going to come down to maybe just two or three guys getting a lot of those carries? Sure, but we're so far away from that. Bo's going to get the majority of them to start. I get it. I fully expect Isaiah West to get a lot of carries. And like you said, Jacoby Jackson, Legend Bay, they're all going to be a part of that, which only opens things up more. I think for the pass game, it's going to be a lot of fun coming up. All right, we've asked for your voicemails. You want to get a last-minute one, beat the buzzer, 614-460-8010. Get your voicemails in because we're going to get to them next. And Dylan has already told me that there's a take I'm not going to like from his end, so we'll get it coming up. T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Out on the east in Granville, we are seeing our first crash of our Monday morning, so expect some lane closures on State Route 16. It's that westbound direction at River Road Southeast. Also, if you're traveling towards Buckeye Lake right now, you will not be able to access that 70 eastbound ramp to State Route 79 and nearby River actually cresting, and we are seeing some major flooding, ponding out on that roadway. Make sure to just get off Mason early and take State Route 37 instead. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
So you know your age, your weight, your income, and probably even the mileage on your car. But what's your testosterone level, and is that level normal for your age? If you don't know the answer, Low T Center can help, and they'll do it for free. Go take a free testosterone test and find out if Low T Center can help invigorate your life like it has for thousands of other men in Central Ohio. Get the energy, vitality, and endurance you used to have. Start now by going to fixmylowt.com and book an appointment for your free T-test. Do it today.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One of the biggest positives we hear from customers is, I loved my Pella Columbus guide. We're there to be whatever it takes to make your life easy.
We've been working on our support as well.
Cool, like...
I made a pamphlet.
A pamphlet?
Double-sided. Very thorough. Even put a word search on page 2 with window words like double pane, which is what my mom used to call me, still calls me.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
Bring bold flavor to every cookout with Billiards Plus. Shop top-of-the-line grills and turn every cookout into a win. Then bring the fun inside with pool tables, shuffleboard, and more. Everything for the ultimate game room. Billiards Plus. Grills, games, and good times. Online or on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
How many of you have had your garage floor done? I'll wait for the answer. Yeah, that's enough. How many of you think it looks like crap? That's because it is crap. One quick call to Comer & Cross Concrete Floor Coatings at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, and they can install a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor in one day. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard. It's like pulling into a new car showroom every night. And here's the best part. It is guaranteed your garage floor will never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. And listen, you lazy bum, they'll even take the stuff out of the garage for you. They're all certified uniform pros. No subcontractors at Comer & Cross. This is a premier product with premier results, and they hired a premier endorser to tell you about it. For your quick and easy Comer & Cross garage floor quote, call 1-800-NEW-FLOOR now. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, or go to comercross.com, COMER cross.com.
Football season is here. Make sure your internet is ready. Kinetics 100% fiber gives you the fast, reliable connection to enjoy live football on YouTube TV and watch up to 4 live games at once with Multiview. Check real-time stats and catch more big plays without missing a snap. Take your game watching to a whole new level. Switch to Kinetic. Save up to $120 on your first year of YouTube TV. Visit GoKinetic.com for details. Subject to availability and eligibility. Terms, conditions, and restrictions apply. Cancel anytime. Kinetic. Internet better.
Kick off your savings when you buy or refinance your home with a Miller Lending no closing cost mortgage. Closing costs aren't mandatory, so don't fumble away your opportunity to save money. 8779 no cost. That's 8779 no cost. Or apply online at nocostmortgage.com.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Helping a new driver get ready for their road test? Here's a convenient new way to make the most of your 50 hours of required practice driving time. The Road Ready Ohio app, available now at no cost to new drivers and their families. Road Ready Ohio keeps track of your driving experience together, providing feedback and safe driving tips. It even generates the documentation you need for the Ohio BMV. The Road Ready Ohio app, free to download in the Apple and Google App Stores.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, ooh, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see a spotty shower, maybe a rumble of thunder out there for the morning hours. That chance does continue into the afternoon as well. We'll see a mostly cloudy sky otherwise, humid with highs around 81. Tuesday, a much nicer day, mostly sunny, somewhat less humid, highs again around 81. For the Fan, I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Justin Gertz.
Common man, a radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good, clean boy, moonlights as man's hemorrhoid. Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan, the breakfast burrito of radio shows.
Okay, so far this breakfast has been a disaster.
Mostly because it's girthy and has a little bit of everything.
Need love too. Sure.
You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
All right, we love Caleb Downs around here. We know Caleb Downs can play in the post. He can guard man to man. He can blitz. He can do everything. He can fill up the Gatorade cooler, walk the dog, and paint your back porch. Well, on Kalshi, for Defensive Rookie of the Year, he is currently trading at 17%, which means that $100 will win you $553.66 if you decide to go with Caleb Downs for Rookie of the Year. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house, and as the probability change, you can buy in and out of your position, trade the draft, pick the game, and more on Kalshi. Download the Kalshi app and use code POWELL, P-O-W-E-L-L, to get up to $500 in bonus credits when you trade $25. Kalshi, trade anything. Have to be 18 and older. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contracts trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Kalshi products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
All right, one of the newest things here on T-Bone and Tyvis, the voicemails. You could always leave one at 614-460-8010. We've got some. Dylan, let's get to them.
Has anyone else ever noticed, well, you guys have kids, right? Kids are not allowed to sit in the front seat. Like, isn't that a law now? Like, they have to be a certain age, size, or something.
Yes, that is.
But I drive around, and I see people with dogs in the front seat. Sometimes the dog is on the driver's lap, if it's a small lap dog, obviously. How is this not distracted driving, and how is it okay to allow dogs in the front seat, but to not allow people to make choices for their kids? You know, like, does anyone else find this extremely hypocritical?
It's a safety thing. Number one, I'm not okay. I will fully admit to that voicemailer. I have driven with my dog on our lap, and yes, it's hard to do. But also, that's what he likes to do, man. He can't reach the window by himself. Every dog likes to put their face out the window. I need to hold him up. Now, that aside, if I unfortunately get into a car accident, I want my dog to be safe. Don't get me wrong. I'm more worried about my kid's safety, though. That's why they're in the back seat. That's why. Sorry, I just kicked the camera if you're watching on the YouTube side of things. That's why they're in the back seat. I don't know, Tyvis. Do you agree with what we're getting at here?
I don't understand why dogs can, but my dog has to sit on like the armrest. He got problems. I can't stand driving with him in the car. He is the worst dog to drive with in the car because he just can't. He can't calm down. He's panting. His drool is everywhere. I can't stand it. And then the kids in the front seat thing. It's interesting because I promise you, I've been in the front seat since I was like 5.
I know, I get it. We're all there.
No, not with me. My mom had me in the booster chair for as long as like it was recommended. If it was
safe.
if it was 50 to 80 pounds, I was in the booster chair until I was 80 pounds, which was probably around 8 or 9 years old. Like, nah, I was nowhere near the front seat until I was probably like 10 or 11 years old.
See, I used to race my brother and sister for the front seat. And anytime I win, they be always upset. And the number one thing they will point out is, you see up there on the visor, it says you got to be 12 or older to be in the front seat. And he's only 6 and he's in the front. He shouldn't even be allowed to do that. And I used to be like, yeah, go touch grass. Get in the back.
You see, I was old enough, I was driving, and my 2 youngest brothers, they thought it was cool that they got to ride in my car with me in the front seat. You know what I mean? Because, like, with all of us, when we all went anywhere in like our parents' car, like we had a minivan, so everybody's piled in the back. So like when I would drive my brother to like baseball practice or whatever, he just thought it was cool that he was sitting in the front seat, even though he probably couldn't. Dylan, you said you had a hot take about the dogs here.
I mean, I always get the most hate when I talk about dogs on the air because I don't have a dog. I don't really care. I don't hate dogs. I just hate the dogs are people to people. The dogs are my kids people. Like, the reason why a dog is allowed in the front seat and a kid isn't, because who cares? Because what happens if something happens to your dog? You just go get another one.
Correct.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
They're not as important, period.
Dang.
Well,
it's like that, Tyvis.
I see. It's a hard night life over there, man. You can't never come around Max. Talk to Max like that.
The people that get me are the people that think their dog can go anywhere with.
I'm so tired of seeing dogs in the store. I'm really tired of it.
I don't agree with.
You know, I've seen them in the stroller now, and like that's what I don't get, because now people get them registered as their emotional support animal, and I'm not making fun of that. I completely understand why, and there's medical reasons for service dogs. That's not what I'm talking about. Like when I see somebody, more even like in a restaurant, where like there's a health concern here, man, and like they have them in these new strollers now. And I'm like, what is going on here? I just saw a viral video, and here I'm gonna counter your dog hate or dog dislike for some cat hate, because I'm out on cats. This dude went on a 12-hour road trip with 4 cats in his van. He laid all the seats down. They had water, food, but then a litter box. And I'm like, that's the
gross.
most disgusting. You're in this car for 12 hours with these cats, with a litter box. And then, same to your point, Dylan, these cats are walking all over him while he's trying to drive the car. Like, what are we doing with that? Leave your freaking cats at home, man. But he got me sucked in. I watched the video. So
Rusty in the chat wants to know, Tyvis, if Cardale lets your dog in his car.
No, why would I take my...
That's a valid question.
My dog barely... The only time my dog travels is if we're all taking a family trip to like Worcester or something like that, like for the weekend or something like that. If it's something where like I'm going and I'll be back that day, like he fine. He can stay at home.
But other than that, how does he does he like throw up in the car, or he's fine in the
No, he just sits there and pants. He pants. Yeah. He goes back from the back seat to the front seat. Then he sits on the armrest.
We put the kibosh on that, man. Like, well, unfortunately, our dog recently passed away. But all that aside, when he was in the car, he was either in the back seat or he was on my lap. It was not. He did not move.
Your dog. Wait a minute. Your dog, the white dog that you had he passed away.
He did. Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I appreciate it, bro. He was 10. He had some heart issues. We knew about it. It was one of those things. You never get enough time.
Don't tell me that because my dog turns 10 this year.
He'll be fine. He'll be all right. Ours had like a congenital thing. They knew about it, and they told us about a year ago. They're like, about a year and a half. So it's like one of those things. You're not. It sucks because you hate it, but you're also like, it wasn't completely out of the blue. But it's still never easy. So I appreciate it, bro. I do. But he would ride in between the kids because they have the 2 car seats. So he would fit there. So that was like his spot. But the other thing, if people don't know, I don't know because you got your kids in the car too. They make those tacos that you put in the back seat. And it's like they can't fall off the seat. And then they could – that thing was a game changer. We had that for him before we had to put the car seats in for the kids. That is the game changer for the dogs, is to put those things in the back seat.
He ain't gonna do it.
He's got to sit with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
How big is Max?
Max is 20-something, 25, 26.
So when you say like he's on the armrest, like that's literally where he rides. He
sits right there on that armrest.
See, that would be the worst because then I have to have my arm down on the armrest while we're going.
Not with him. He ain't gonna let you do it. Now it's time where he gonna jump in the back seat, and chill over there with the kids for a little bit, but he coming right back for sure.
See, like that's what I would say. Why can't you tell your kids like your job on this trip is to keep him entertained?
Nah, they ain't going. They got that. They got their iPad in their hands. My oldest got the headphones on, so she ain't even hearing nothing. Yeah.
Your job is to entertain Max on this ride. Will he ride with your wife? No.
He prefers to ride with my wife, but he just we both, because the thing is he wants to get on your lap, and then he doesn't just sit there. He jumps on the steering wheel.
Right.
So you would be twisting the car out the way if he got his hand on the steering wheel. So it's like you gotta just go on the armrest. So we compromised with the armrest.
When Alvin was a puppy, I literally had to stop him from jumping out of the car one time because he was riding on my lap. And you know that thing where your left arm is under the dog holding him. Your right, Dylan, this is where it gets dangerous. The left arm's under the dog. You're driving with your right arm. You try to grab your coffee real quick. And I had the window down because he had his, dog stick his face out the window. He saw another dog. And I felt him start to leave my arm where if I didn't do a bicep curl and squeeze him, he was going out that window. And then I think he learned after that, that's a bad idea, buddy. That's a bad idea. Now, I grew up in a bit of a rural area, and it was, you didn't bat an eye when you saw a dog in the bed of a truck on the highway. I wouldn't do that. A little dangerous for me, but I've totally seen people just driving down the highway with their dog leashed, but in the bed of a pickup truck, just going on the highway.
I've seen that happen too.
Yeah.
I actually, bad news is that I had my uncle had a dog like that, and it was the dog was skittish, so it ran away from everything, and I think it jumped off the back on the highway and got ran over.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, but it's to the voicemailer's point, the kids in the front seat, it's just an airbag thing. That airbag goes, you got to be – it's a weight thing. I don't think it's an age thing. I think it's a weight thing, once you surpass – but, Dylan, I'm like your mom. My kids will be in that booster seat and car seat until they can't be anymore. Why not? There's no harm in anything. Just leave them on in there. We'll see how it goes. All right, Josh Perry's going to join us. Can't wait to talk some Buckeyes with JP, where he thinks things go with the offensive line. Bo Jackson may be back as the number 1 running back. We'll get it all. He's going to join us next in just 2 minutes right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Really noticing some slowdowns on this early Monday morning. Starting just south of Westerville on the north side, be careful on 270 westbound as soon as you're passing State Route 3. Per usual, we're seeing just more cars out on the roads. That 71 northbound direction over by Greenlawn Avenue. A lot of people are heading downtown right now. Also still seeing some traffic. 33 in that westbound direction over by Gender Road. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
The magic of Harry Potter is now at Tim's. Choose your Hogwarts house donut, summon the refreshing flavor of sparkling Patronus, or seek out the delicious golden snitch Timbit. Try them all at Tim's.
At participating U.S. restaurants while supplies last.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Let me ask you something. When's the last time a contractor did exactly what they said they would? on time, on budget, didn't give you any surprises at the end. With Baths R Us, there are no surprises. These folks started in Ohio and grew by word of mouth because they do it right the first time. On time, on budget. And here's the difference with Baths R Us. They have local crews, never subcontracted. The people who show up to your door, they're trained Baths R Us employees. They aren't just some random crew that got hired last week and has no idea what they're doing in your home. Whether you need a safer bathroom to stay independent or you just want a space you're proud of, Baths R Us builds it to last. That's Baths R Us. Call today and see what it's like to work with people who actually keep their promises. 380-225-BATH. That's to call Baths R Us and deal with a company that started right here in Ohio and grew by word of mouth. Because they treat people right. They do what they say they're going to do. 380-225-BATH to call Baths R Us. Baths R Us. Bathrooms you can trust. Call now.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Capital Ford of Columbus. Find your dream ride and get approved fast at capitalfordofcolumbus.com. The Buckeyes, the Big Ten, and the rest of college football. We tackle it all in the breakdown with Joshua Perry.
And as always, JP very gracious with his time. Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone. Tyvis Powell here. Because, Josh, you're on the West Coast, man, so it's like 5:30. And you're getting up here for us. We very much appreciate that.
Yeah, only for you guys. I'll tell you that right now. If it was any other show, I'd be like, kick rocks.
Kick rocks. On the West Coast, we're out. Josh, we were having a conversation earlier about the decision to move Senior Day. And I think both Tyvis and I kind of come from a similar spot of this is a tradition and an honor. And I know Ohio State has said that, hey, we want to honor the tradition here, but we want to be focused on the Michigan game. But I don't think Tyvis and I, either one of us, really like how it's getting moved or kind of the handling of it. You're obviously a Buckeye. Your thoughts on Ohio State moving Senior Day?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I really love it either. As you guys mentioned, like, it's a tradition. Now, this is not like a unique tradition to Ohio State. Everybody has Senior Day, and most schools do it at the end of the year. I get where Ryan Day is coming from. And by the way, like, he's altered some traditions that week as well with senior tackle and the marching band coming in and all the different things that come along with Michigan week. It's a difficult week to manage. He's been under a lot of pressure that week, obviously, based off of some of the results in the past. So I get where he's coming from. I will say this, though, that two things that made me kind of think about, well, maybe this isn't the worst move in the world is, number one, you have guys that by the end of the year are banged up. And so they're walking out there on the field and they're not healthy. Like, so I remember, Tyvis, you remember John Simon, for example, right? Like, Senior Day, like, he's doing everything he can to make his way across the field. That's a situation that you're probably not running into early in the year unless somebody has an injury during camp. And then the other one, Tyvis, you'll remember this. What happened our Senior Day? We lost.
You lost.
You lost too.
Y'all lost. Y'all lost. I graded out good. That was my best game. Y'all lost.
Okay, well, you coded an L. The last game you ever played in the Horseshoe, you walked out of there a loser.
Yeah,
right? And
it happens.
That's a tough feeling on Senior Day. I would much rather have walked out of there with a dub on Senior Day. So I think considering those two things, like, I don't know, it's the competitor in you is also like, just win the damn game, right? But like, I hate losing and I hated the way that felt. And now for the rest of my life, I get to say the last game I ever played in the Horseshoe, I lost, and that kind of sucks. So for that, like, I get moving it for the distraction aspect. I get moving it, but also I'm with you guys where it's like, I wish I didn't move it. So I see both sides of it.
Joshua, did you watch any preseason this past weekend football?
Why would I do that?
Because you got there are some Buckeyes out there. Don't you want to check in on them and see how they doing?
I'll check in on them when the regular season starts. I did watch the Browns, unfortunately.
Yeah. What you think?
there was nothing to think, really. I mean, the first part of the game, right? Like, it looked fine. It looked efficient. Here's my issue with evaluating the quarterbacks. Deshaun obviously goes out there and he looks pretty damn good. He refuses to throw the football downfield. Like, he refuses to. And so it's really difficult for me to evaluate how good I actually think he is if he won't throw the ball past 10 yards. And I know Shador, like, his drops are still a little bit of a mess. He's dropping super deep, and his footwork isn't necessarily great, but at least he's willing to push it downfield. And outside of the one, which was a terrible interception, I also think the ball might have been wet when he threw it. It was a bad interception. Besides that, like, it didn't look terrible. So I think it's a unique evaluation from that standpoint where you've got one guy who, like, in Shador, who clearly still needs to develop and get his footwork together, and the drops have to be better. But, like, he's pushing it downfield. I think he's playing with some good confidence. And then you got Deshaun, where it's like he's veteran, he's efficient, the footwork looks tight, and it's like, yeah, but he's throwing it like 4 yards down the field. I don't think you can win doing that. So I have no idea what to make of it. And frankly, I'm glad I'm not the coach making the decision on what the hell to do.
Why so, Josh? Just because you don't think there's I don't think there is a good option in this. I think Watson is going to be the starter, but I'm with you. It's going to be, kind of for what? We win 6 games instead of 4?
Yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at. I don't think there's a great option to begin with, but I also think I don't know if you're making the evaluation like apples to apples. Like, they're not apples to apples players right now, and I think that's a really hard thing to evaluate.
I just look at it like, yeah, we'll see when the joint practices happen. Josh, let me take you back to Columbus here. There's a lot of talk about the running back situation, and, they mentioned Bo Jackson. Ryan Days talked about Bo Jackson being able to make guys miss in the open area. He's been doing a really good job with that in practice. Does it really matter in today's football who the program says is the starting running back?
I mean, yes. Like, that's first off, if you're paying them, it definitely matters. like that's your lead dog. I also feel like, when you have that first team that runs out there, like, there's a pride and you kind of got to know who to look to when it's crunch time. So I think from that regard, it matters. As we know, you want to have a deep running back room. You want to be able to roll those guys. I mentioned when I was there last week with Utah, but like Michigan, for example, they've got 3 guys that they're probably going to roll. It's also, they know that Jordan Marshall is their guy, right? So, like, I think you want both. Like, I think you want to have some depth there, and I think you want to be able to make sure that you can manage the load for all those guys throughout the season. But you also got to have a guy in the room as well. So does it matter? Maybe not as much as it matters to have, like, your number one wide receiver. Maybe not as much as it matters to have your Caleb Downs, for example, on defense, right? Like your number one safety and your top linebacker and all those different things. But you still want to have a guy that is your lead running back. And so we'll see where that goes. I mean, you and I saw Bo last week. Thought he looked pretty good. So I'm feeling confident about that. I think it's also very dependent on where this offensive line ends up. And I think those guys are going to be expected to take a big step there. So I'm excited to see all of it.
Yeah, Josh, you mentioned it too, because that offensive line, Sarafeld injury, trying to name the 5 starters. I'm like, not nervous for that, but I'm like getting anxious for. I'm like, they'll get to it when it's time to get to it, but it would be nice to have those guys 5 set as well as you try to get the offense rolling. He's great, Josh Perry. We'll let you get back to sleep, man, out there on the West Coast. We appreciate you getting up for us, all right?
I'm like Tyvis, so I'm getting ready to go to the gym. So
nice.
I'll catch you guys next week.
Nice. You guys are better than me because, Tyvis, I've tried the morning workout thing.
It's the best thing.
I can't do it, brother. I just can't.
The best
There's something
one.
about now. Number one, my wife's gonna walk down here and get on this show and say yes, 100%. I am the worst person to wake up in the morning. I am just god awful at it. Kids really didn't change that. I do set multiple alarms. Like when I know I got to get up, to work, or she's always like, you don't have any problem getting up when you have a tea time in the morning. And I'm like, nope, I usually get up for that. So like she's mentioning, because I work out at night. She's like, to your guys' point, you're supposed to do it in the morning. It's healthier. Working out while you're fasted is great for it. Can't do it, man. Something about it. I can't do it. I don't know. One day we'll get there. We'll see. We got the buzzer. Yeah, I can't. I don't know why. I'm a night owl by trade anyway. Like, I like staying up. I just prefer the evening. But the problem is I'll go. So, like, I'll put the kids to sleep, and I'll run to the gym, and I'll get back. And you, like, get into bed thinking that you can go to sleep after you just got done working out, and you're like, yeah, that's not going to happen. Like, I end up staying up later than I should. Then I wake up tired and just I got a lot going on. We'll get it figured out one day. All right, Baker's going to join us. We got a little crosstalk. We'll hit to the buzzer. Wrap things up. T-Bone and Tyvis here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Looking at a 25-minute delay for drivers out in Granville. That's because of a crash happening on State Route 16. It's that westbound direction at River Road Southeast. So obviously expect some lane closures out there for that detour. I want to make sure you get some and save some time for yourself on this Monday. You'll get off State Route 16. Instead, head more towards that West Main Street area to Lancaster Road, and from there, eventually hopping back on 16. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Dealing with pain every day, the first thing people will suggest is to get surgery to fix it. But who wants their body to be cut open? Before you make a decision that can't be undone, go see my friends at QC Kinetics for a second opinion. Dr. Ray Tesner and his team have helped tons of patients just like you in the Columbus area. Whether it's bone-on-bone arthritis, torn meniscus, or just years of wear and tear like me, they have real solutions. And they bring relief to not just your body, but your mind as well. They give you a medical evaluation, review your history, and go over the images to find the source of the pain. The main goal is to hold off surgery, and best case, skip it altogether. And that's why it makes sense to explore every option before making a decision that can change your life. Don't just accept surgery as your only choice. Call QC Kinetics today for a second opinion and know your options. The conversation and consultation are totally free. Go to QCkinetics/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
One bite in, you'll be saying, that's hot as fire. Speedway's new Hottest Fire Chicken Sandwich turns up the temp. Eat the heat for $4.99 only at Speedway. Valid through 8/25/26. Participating stores. Exclude Speedy Cafe. See app for full terms.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
On this episode of Science Stuff, we're examining the fastest things on the planet, like the cheetah. It can reach a land speed of over... probably having an off day happens to everybody, but here is the American race car. People love the thrill of the... Okay. Next up is the Falcon. Oh, all right. Oh, Great Caesar's ghost, what was that? Why, I think we've found the fastest... Let's watch in slow motion.
Hi, it's Alex, the friendly Apex...
It's Apex Pros, the pros who knows. They're the fastest thing on the planet. When you have a problem with your plumbing, furnace, air conditioner, or electrical system, Apex Pros gets to you faster than apparently everything. Leaves are blown from trees. Paint is stripped from buildings. Mothers clutch their children's hands. Because when you have something broken in your plumbing, HVAC, or electrical, you don't want to wait.
Columbus loves Apex Pros. ApexPros.com.
At 614's 2026 Columbus Awards, High Bank took home honors for best cocktails, gastropub, happy hour, and overall bar, and more. Whether it's date night, brunch, happy hour, dinner with the family, High Bank has something for everyone. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you've ever had somebody do work at your house, it's annoying as crap, at least to me, when someone shows up to your house that you never met, you've never worked with, and you didn't hire to do the job. Subcontractors, I understand why they exist, but for me, I want to work with a company that's going to bring people who know what they're doing, who are trained by the company to put their product in.
On time, on budget, no surprises at the end. That's what Baths R Us does every single time. These folks started in Ohio and grew by word of mouth because they do it right the first time. And the big difference with them, they have local crews. They never sub out the work. The people who show up to your door, they're trained by Baths R Us. They're actually employees of the company, not some random crew they hired last week. Whether you need a safer bathroom to stay independent or you just want a space that you're proud of, they build it to last. That's Baths R Us. Call them today and see what it's like to work with people who actually keep their promises. Kind of a rare thing these days. Call them today, 380-225-BATH. That's 380-225-BATH. Baths R Us, bathrooms you can trust. Call now.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh, no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. One of these guys still believes he can play in the NFL. It's T-Bone. He says it's because of his low center of gravity. He's dumb. This is Bone and Tyvis.
All right, don't forget as well, Bishop and Friends coming up in a little bit. Matt Fontana, Tyvis Powell, he's Dylan Gonzalez. So happy to bring in Isaiah Jacob filling in on the crosstalk today. So, Isaiah, I have to ask you this because I was going to ask Baker this, so I then will now roll this over to you, and it's a question that you can very much answer here. Because Tyvis earlier said Ryan Baker was one of his favorite producers at the station.
I said it's Panama Ted, number one.
Okay.
Ryan Baker's two.
Okay. So, Isaiah.
It's a fact.
I need your 97.1 The Fan
the fact
producer rankings. Dylan, I would love yours too, Dylan. I've worked with probably 4. Like I've not worked with Cole, right? So I don't know how that goes. So Isaiah, give me your rankings here. I'm interested.
I think my favorite producer to work with, even though Dylan's producing right now, and I did work with him yesterday, my favorite is Rhyme Time. And the reason it's Rhyme Time is because you never know what asinine take is going to come out of his mouth that will just leave you in disbelief. Like, there's times when I'm talking to Rhymer, and I will say something that's completely normal about something he should know about or a place that he should have been, and he will give me this blank stare, and it feels like I'm breaking news to him every single day.
Yeah, Rhymer's one of the youngest dudes that works here. He's ignorant about a lot. There's a lot he don't know.
Well, right. How old is Ryber?
I don't know.
Like 25, 26?
I think so.
Somewhere around there.
Hey.
Yeah.
It was a time where they was asking him about some movie, and they was like, "Do you know this movie?" He said, "No, never heard of it." I was like, "I'm bad with movies, but he made me feel good about myself."
He knows like nothing before the year 2000. I'm convinced.
Yeah, that tracks. I mean, I get because like Reimer's probably the one that I work with, maybe even the most doing the Buckeye show. Like Dylan, you and I work together a lot. I think I've done a show with you, Isaiah. And then,
I've done the Buckeye show with you some.
Yeah, that's right. You've done that. And like Nate, I've done a couple shows with Nate too when he fills in on the Buckeye show. But yeah, when I do the Buckeye show at night, it's usually Reimer. Because again, Jill and I were talking about this, there's a technical aspect of it too. Like who's maybe best at running the board versus like who's good on the air. So Dylan, what is your 97.1 The Fan producer rankings?
Well, you guys know I'm a LeBron guy. LeBron has no problem naming himself the GOAT. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. And also mention
I'm going to take this opportunity to go ahead and do the same.
Tyvis has no idea what I do for him if he's not even going to say my name. So disrespectful.
Start showing
unappreciative.
You know what you do? You know, this is what he did for me, Matt. He told me that Sean Waynes was coming in at 7:15. Let me tease it. He told me for sure that he'd be here at 7:30. Let me tease it again. Didn't get here to 8:15. That's what he did. On a date, knowing that I'm not comfortable like that in the one chair, he set me up.
You should have known damn well that he was running on CP time. Okay.
There you go. Isaiah, final thing, because we were talking a lot about the Browns quarterback battle. What did you see after one game for the Browns in the preseason? Shador v. Watson.
It feels like to me, and I haven't heard what you guys have said on it yet this morning, but it feels like to me Shador has a uphill battle coming this Saturday. It feels like Monken's already kind of made his mind up that it's probably Deshaun. I think that Deshaun did about just enough on Saturday to keep himself in what feels like the front of the competition. It was a solid performance. He took about zero risk, pretty much checkdowns the whole way. I mean, I don't think he had a single attempt over 10 yards the entire game, but he also didn't look horrible either. 11 of 15, played the game pretty safe. Shedeur, on the other hand, did take some deeper attempts. Looked fine to me. Neither of them blew me away. It feels like it's going to be Deshaun week 1 unless Shedeur balls out on Saturday.
Yeah, I think it's going to just have to be for Monken, for the offense, for the pre-snap stuff. It'll probably be leaning that way. What do you guys have coming up, Bishop and Friends, here in a little bit?
We're doing some NFL two-a-days today. We're walking through the Rams and the Cardinals, giving you guys a breakdown on the NFC West division. We're also going to be talking about the Browns this morning and diving into the running back room for the Buckeyes. We got some good Ryan Day sound from the weekend that we're going to delve into and talk about Bo Jackson versus Isaiah West.
Love it. You get it coming up. He's Isaiah Jacob joining us from Bishop and Friends. Appreciate it. We'll be tuned in. Yeah, the Rams could pretty much just be like, yeah, they have an all-star team.
I got a question for you, Matt. You're a fantasy guy?
I am.
Let me run this dilemma by you, and you tell me what you think. You got let's say you got in a 12-man league, right?
Okay.
And you get like the 9th pick.
Sure.
Maybe 10th.
Okay.
And Christian McCaffrey is sitting there.
Oh.
Do you take him?
Yeah.
You take him knowing that he just came off this big workload. He's currently hurt right now.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so here's I could get really nerdy on it and ask you if it's a PPR league or if it's standard league because
PPR.
Okay, PPR. So usually my take is, and people go the opposite, I want quarterbacks and running backs earlier because the wide receiver depth that you can find is incredible. And the difference
You sound like me because my first 3 picks is straight running backs.
That running back more specifically, because what the fantasy pros would tell you is you look at the difference between QB1 at the end of the year and QB6, right? And that point differential a lot of times isn't a massive amount versus running back 1 and running back 6. Receivers, it's kind of the same thing, in my opinion, anyway. And then, yes, I know you have to start 2 receivers. If you play a super flex league, you play another quarterback, that all kind of factors into it. But I'm with you. Like, I'm very much a running backs, in my opinion, usually make or break a fantasy season. Like, when you look at the end of the day of teams that are in the championship, usually they have your high statistical output running backs. Now, the thing is, you could take a guy high, and, yeah, he gets hurt. The offense is bad. Like, if McCaffrey's still sitting there, you almost kind of have to, even though, yeah, I'm assuming Bijan, Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor's probably gone. Derrick Henry might still be there. But, yeah, I'm still very much a believer in Christian McCaffrey. It's funny. I'm in 5 leagues. It's too many.
That's
too many.
Yeah. That's 5 too many, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, I know.
Just be a degenerate gambler instead.
Yeah.
Kick fantasy to the curb.
Yeah, well, I do that. I do that.
That's the both worlds.
Dynasty, redraft, I got it all. I have a problem. All right, quickly, buzzer.
Shove it down your throat.
It's time for the buzzer.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Feeling the heat? Call the experts at Logan Services now for hot deals on train systems, including 0% APR for 60 months.
I only leave them 10 seconds because I don't want to talk about them. The Guardians make me disgusted. I am absolutely disgusted with that baseball team. I don't even watch. It's sad to say. They're awful, and they're going to miss the playoffs. That's why this is the only time they get it. Boys, always a pleasure. Love being in with you. T-Bone back with it tomorrow. Bishop and Friends coming your way next. You've been listening to The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
The right shoulder is blocked for our north-siders. That's after a disabled vehicle still affecting that 270 westbound direction when you're passing 71. Also, a heads up, west-siders, you got some rain coming into your area right now. And with that, we are seeing some drivers taking it nice and easy. And, of course, going slow out on the roads. It's 70 both directions over by places like Hull Road and mile marker 88 right before you're hitting Hilliard Rome Road out there. I'm 10 TV's Brianna